everybody. We are in Lake Ridge today, and it is wonderful and beautiful, and we have a room full of happy people.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes.
Making the noise. I like it. I like it. Off to a great start today.
Yes, absolutely.
We got lots of fun announcements, lots of good stuff going on.
We've had so much happening, and we're so excited to share it all with you.
We got great guests. We got Ian and Ed from the RedStone Group.
Yes.
We got Dee, Dilyara, Daminova is going to be up here, dropping lots of knowledge for everybody.
And tidbits.
Tidbit?
Little tidbits.
Okay.
Nuggets.
Nuggets. There you go. Little nuggets.
They're dropping their nuggets.
So we were super excited to kind of dive in and kind of have lots of fun conversations. It's a interesting and fun world out there in the real estate world. So we're going to dive into some of the
We don't know about you,
topics.
but we're having fun.
We're having a blast every single day.
Every day.
So lots of stuff that happened last week, lots of stuff that happened yesterday, and lots of exciting things to come.
And I just want to give a shout out real quick to, we have had a team of people that have been working behind the scenes on several great big announcements that we're getting ready to make today, but as well as our top producer takeover we did. We're going to talk about that today. And then just kicking off this super sales meeting this morning. These guys, we were all talking at 11 o'clock last night trying to finish up the slides to make sure everything was good and ready to go today. So a huge shout out to our staff because they work really, really hard behind the scenes.
It's been a busy week.
Guys, they are kicking ass and taking names, and we could not be more proud of them.
You can't say that on the radio.
I did.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's dive into it. We'll talk more about some of those things in a little bit.
He can bleep me later.
Nah, it's fine. All right, so our first slide, what we always like to do is we like to start with all the people that not only use Cardinal Title Group, which is the partner that makes it all tick, but they were able to get their listings to go to Cardinal Title Group. So these are the true rock stars that on that listing side were able to say, please bring the buyer and bring the whole transaction to Cardinal Title Group. They'll take great care of you. So we'll start with Miss Allison Pages, Alka Kumar, Andrea Hayes, Andrea Saunders, Andy Spagnolo, Ann Thomas, Avo Team, April Van Overbeek, Belinda Reese, Beth Ann Wilson.
She's in the crowd.
She's there. You got to give a woo-woo.
Yeah, if you're here, you got to woo-woo yourself.
Bethany Sobsack, Brian Sanks, and Caitlin and Steve Ellis.
Candace Astroff, Carl Harper up in our Bowie office, Casey Quicken, Uncle Casey Samson 2 times, Christina Pearson, Charles Kim, Claudette Davis, Daisy Cordova, Dana Jackins. Oh, wow. I do that every time.
A little more coffee.
Daniel Lee, David Werfel, and Elaine Molina. Thank you, guys.
Liz Klein, Eric Burnett, Felicia Cole, Frank Holliday, Gary Baer, Greg Kolangian, Ian McVeigh in the house.
Woot woot.
Inam Raymond, James Wright, Jamie Shin, Janet Orellana, and Jeffrey Walburn.
Nice job. Jennifer Barner, Jordan Muirhead, Caitlin Higgins.
Jordan Muirhead, the pro golfer that helped us.
Oh, that's right. He
and according to Bobby,
very handsome. So he's very handsome. He's a pro golfer, and he can play cornhole.
And he can close it at Cardinal Title Group. That's the most important.
And he closes at Cardinal Title Group. So
there you go.
Jordan, you may be our new favorite. Caitlin Higgins, Kate Snyder, Catherine Mudd, Kathy O'Donnell, Kathy Rainey, Keith Hawkins, Kevin Brandis, Keisha Washington, Cater Hawa, and Christy Edwards. Thank you.
Christine Jones, Christine Price, Larry and Laura Bean, woo! Laura Lamb, Lisa Patton, Madonna Padilla.
Nice job, Madonna.
Up there in Bel Air. Maria McGrath, Matthew Huggins, Missy Whittington, Meredith Smith, Michelle Purdom, and Nadia Delaware.
Nami Motoyama. Ooh, wow, that one's...
You crushed it.
Nanami. No, I'm going back. Nanami Motoyama. That was it. Natalie and Kurt McArthur. Okay, Udamaga. Owen Thomas and Kelly Thomas in the house. Pablo Flower. Pat Sowers 3 times. Thanks, Pat Sowers. Pino Willie Pogsanen. Raymond Bramell, Rick Rupert, Robert Blitzer, Robert Waddell, and Ron Blanks. Thank you.
And Roxanne Souther, Sanjeev Shah, Sarndeep Sarkaria, Stephen Chen, Susan Tullington, Ted Spinato, Thaddeus Underwood, Tina McElroy, Tonga Turner 2 times.
Nice job.
Vasa Olson and Zachary Wilson.
Thank you all very, very much.
To all of our people that brought stuff to Cardinal Title Group on the listing side. We'll do all of the Cardinal Title closings at the end of our sales meeting per usual. And also, guys, in the last month, you guys have continued to do a fantastic job recruiting, bringing people to Lunch Learns, introducing people to Mark and I and our team. So we're very thankful for that. We've had 71 new people join our family in the last month. So
welcome, everybody. And don't forget, as we call out their names, their office location is on the right hand of the slide. So if you have a chance, say hello, be a buddy.
Be a buddy.
Be a buddy.
All right. Adam Brown is a new agent. Alexandria Gaines from Village Premier Collection. Elisa Valdez from Keller Williams McLean. Amanda Brady is a new agent. Brittany Floyd, who's a part of Jack Goodwin's team, I'll talk about in a second, Real Broker. Carlos Gavino is a new agent, as is Catherine Wheeler. Peyton Polycrones is also from that team in Real Broker, Jack Goodwin's team. Dan Greenfield from Inactive to Active, and Deandra Jones from Found It LLC.
Deanna Wasmer from Remax. Dabika Gowda from Redfin. Delaney Flesh as a new agent. Dayar Gaderi from Fairfax Realty. Dhruva Tharmalagam, I slaughtered that, sorry, is a new agent. Edward Doonan from Cummings & Company. Erica Wilson from Redfin. Evelyn Butler from Weichert. Franco Rosas is a new agent. And Frank Silvestrini from Fairfax Realty. Welcome, everyone.
Bel Air getting some momentum.
Look
Three
at
Bel
that,
Airs right
three
on that
Bel
same
Airs.
chart. So awesome stuff. Gabriel Horton and Janera Russell, both new agents. Guillermo Barbosa from Century 21 New Millennium.
Guillermo.
And his daughter Daniela are both joining.
Nice.
Heidi Paul from Exit Realty Central. Holly Santiago from Remax
Hello,
Gateway.
Holly. Welcome to our wonderful side.
She got really excited about Holly. Hasia Franklin from Village Premier Collection. Alexandria Corona from Hatch Property. And then three new agents, Jamie Walsh, Jessica Bridges, and Jessica Roby.
So we also have new agents, Gabrielle Horton and Ganera Russell. Guillermo, I'm on the wrong one.
Page.
I didn't
There
go
you
twice. Joanne Stamastopoulos, I didn't say that right either. Berkshire
Crushed it.
Hathaway. Jack Goodwin from Real Broker.
Jack Goodwin and his whole team joined from Real Broker.
Yes.
I mentioned Peyton and Brittany earlier. Great team.
Awesome. John Medeiros from EXP. Jose Gonzalez is a new agent. Julie Chow is from Pacific Realty. Justin Hahn is a new agent. Carla Tropea from Mulholland Realty. Keith Leah from Mims Realty Group. Laura
Quinonez.
Quinonez, thank you. I went small and then I couldn't see it. Keller Williams and Linda Medeiros from EXP. Welcome, everybody.
And we've got Lucas Dressler as a new agent. Maggie Ree from Arla Realty. Mark McConnell from EXP. Matthew Fields from Century 21 New Millennium. Michael Striganis Tress is a new agent. Miriam Collins from Equilibrium Realty. Nishta Gupta from Fairfax Realty Select. Noreen Johnson from Long & Foster. Ashta Uniji from Found It LLC. And Priscilla Ramirez from Alpha Realty.
We have Princess Dixon as a new agent along
Princess.
with... I think that needs to be my new name.
No, it doesn't.
Can I tell you how much I would love making him call me Princess?
Dude,
That would be so awesome.
0.0% chance that would ever happen.
I may just go legally change my name just because I think that would be great. Priscilla Austin is also a new agent. Kamar Zaz from KW Metro Center. Raja Abbasi is a new agent. Rashana Jones from Weichert. Robert Delosier is from Keller Williams. Robert Krast from Douglas Realty. Ron Stevens is a new agent, along with Salar Hakmini, and then Sabrina Rehan from Weichert Realty. Welcome, everybody.
And then we've got our last page. Scarlett Castanos is a new agent. Shamim Wani from Golden Key Realty. Shakia Peace from Compass. Sophia Lopresti is a new agent. Stephanie Carter from HomeSmart. Tanya Penn is a new realtor. Tyra Caesar from EXP. Vibhuti Bhushan from Keller Williams, Wayne Mann from Remax Platinum Realty, Yanka Troutman from Compass, and Zachary Smith is a new realtor. So
welcome everybody,
to all
and even though we
71 numbers.
slaughtered your names, we apologize, and we can't wait to meet you, and please call me and tell me how to pronounce your name, and I'll say it right next time.
There you go.
Yes.
Our top performers for the month of October.
Yes,
We'd love to go through these
we
in
do.
Our sales meeting. We will attempt to be quick, but each one of these people have shined, and we want to make sure that we focus. We got Virginia, we got Maryland, D.C., and West Virginia top
And then
realtors.
all company, yes. So in Virginia, Natalie McCarter, Dallas Croft, and Paul Almeida tied with 5 deals for the month. Congratulations, you guys. Dilyara Daminova with 4.5, Hugo D in the crowd, and then a 5-way tie with 4 transactions apiece. Aaron Probasco, Elizabeth Wilson, Bassam Hamandi.
I think that's Beth.
Beth Ann.
But you can do it.
I just was
get
doing,
there.
yes. But it took me a little bit.
Normally we catch
Woo,
and
woo!
fix it, but-
Good job, Beth Ann. Bassam Hamandi, Gustavo Cruz, and Antonella Costa with 4. Congratulations, everybody, on a great month.
Our top 5 individuals in volume last month.
There it is.
Aaron Probasco, $5.8 million. Cousin Morgan Sampson with $3.9 million. Dilyara, Daminova in the
In the
back
house.
there, 3.7. Woo-hoo. Beth
Ann
Wilson,
in the house. Whoop, whoop.
3.6 million. And Natalie McCarter, just under 3.5 million. Great job.
Nice job. And by teams in Virginia, we have the Shepherd Homes team with 29. We have the Carolyn Young team with 28. RedStone's in the house at 18. Uncle Casey Samson at 8.5, and the Perfect Choice Real Estate Group out of Fairfax with 7. Congratulations, you guys.
And in volume, Shepherd Homes Group, 22.2 million. Fantastic. The Carolyn Young team, 14.7. RedStone Group, fantastic bunch, just under 14.5 million. The Casey Samson team, just under 10 million. And Perfect Choice Real Estate, 5.3 million in sales.
Rock
Awesome
on, you
job.
guys. Nice job. In Maryland and D.C., we have Tonga Turner with 5, and then we have a lot of people at 4. So congratulations to Peter Frias, Rex Thomas, Sarabhat Prakash, Tiffany Dodson, Allison Evans, and Tiara Jones. Congratulations, you guys.
And our top in volume for last month, the Maryland, D.C., Peter Frias, 3.5 million. Awesome job. Blake Herring, 3.1 million. Rex Thomas, 2.6. Sarabhat Prakash, 2.1 million. And Miss Tonga Turner, just under 2.1 million. Fantastic
job, you guys. So for our teams in Maryland and D.C., the One Street Company with 17.5, the One Group with 8.
Not confusing at all.
Not confusing at all.
We're not going to add a 1 in today later again. So
and we might be doing that again today. The Easy Way with 5, Ava Realty with 3.5, and Team Harper, the Reliable Home Team, the Gemini Group, and Wealth Builders Group, all with 3. Great job, you guys.
Top in volume, One Street Company, 11.5 million. The One Group, 3.2 million. The Easy Way, 2.5 million. Team Harper, 1.55, and Reliable Home Team, 5,000 underneath that at 1.545 million. So great job to our top teams in Maryland, D.C.
So close. West Virginia, guys, we have Jolene Haymaker at 8, the A Team at 7.5, Christina Pearson at 5, Home Sweet Home Team at 5, and Monica Foster at 4. Great job, West Virginia.
And in volume, Miss Jolene Haymaker, sweet as can be, 2.8 million. The A Team,
she had a rocking month.
Crushed him with just under 2.4 million. Christina Pearson, just under 2 million. Monica Foster, 1.3 million. And Kathy Shank, just over 1.2 million.
All right, so now we're going to look at top producers overall, the entire company. Congratulations, Miss Jolene Haymaker with 8. Natalie and Kurt McArthur with 5. Dallas Cross with 5. Paul Almeida, Tonga Turner, and Christina Pearson also all with 5. Congratulations, you guys rock it out.
Our top individuals in volume for the whole month. Aaron Probasco, 5.8 million. Cousin Morgan Sampson, just under 4 million. Dilyara Daminova in the back, 3.7 million.
Beth Ann Wilson
up here with 3.6 million. And Mr. Peter Frias, 3.5 million. Fantastic job for our top individuals for the month.
So top producers.
Look at this team list.
Look at the team list. Woo. For all company for the month. Shepherd Homes Group with 29.
Teams.
That is almost a deal a day. The Carolyn Young team with 28. The RedStone Group with 18 in the house. The One Street Company with 17.5, and Uncle Casey Sampson's team at 8.5. Congratulations, you guys.
These are October numbers, guys. Awesome stuff.
This is some people's yearly numbers, and this is their monthly number.
Just power teams we have here. The Shepherd Homes Group, 22.2 million. The Carolyn Young team, just under 14.8 million. RedStone Group, just under 14.5. The One Street Company, 11.5 million, and Uncle Casey Sampson's team just under 10 million for the month. Fantastic
So fantastic, guys.
We are so
excited for all of you. Yes, congratulations.
So some total updates for the company. Last Friday, raise your hand if you went last Friday.
What an amazing day!
I mean,
what an amazing day!
Just awesome. Sarah mentioned it earlier, but a special shout out to our staff that made it just an amazing day. The video production was amazing by Justin and Zach and crew. You know, Chris McCullough, just a huge shout out. The stuff that went into putting that day happen, and I could mention a bunch of staff members, but just every single thing that I heard back from a lot of our agents, from the people that came, was just first class event, our first time we've ever done something like that, and they crushed it. You know, I'm not
so crushed it,
and I'm so thankful. That's not Sarah and I bragging about anything we did. It's just that our staff did an amazing job.
And frankly, our minds were blown too, because we had such a smooth running day with very few hiccups, and when the hiccups happened, they cruised through it like they were pros. We had great, knowledgeable people on stage that were open and sharing and giving of the nuggets to really give back into the industry, and we just had a fantastic day. I think Donny and I both, I can speak for both of us, our minds were blown at just how well everything came together and how great that day just was, period.
And we just had so much. So for those that couldn't make it, don't have too much FOMO. You should.
Yes.
But we're going to put
Next
together a
time
lot
you
of
need
those.
to come, people.
We're going to put together a lot of those videos and hopefully be able to share that to all of our Samson agents later, which would be great because there was
Yes.
great intel in there. Special shout out to some of the people from our company. Jason Cheperdick did an amazing job, not
Yes.
only in his panel, but taught a great class about business pillars and how to build your foundation of your business. Casey Samson and Carolyn Young both were on panels and did a fantastic job and represented us so well. But what was awesome too is we had 14 other people from other companies. They were willing to share, all their stuff and all their knowledge to everybody. So we're going to look to do this again. Probably not too often. I'm thinking right now maybe twice a year. Is kind of our goal, and I think it was just great to bring people together from all over. And next time we'll announce it a little bit sooner. And I would just highly encourage you to circle that on your calendar and make sure you try to make that happen because that day was definitely worth it.
Wonderful.
So as we get those videos, we've had a lot of other things going on, but as our team gets a chance to edit and get some of those videos together, we'll share some of those out with everybody. But the panels and the classes were just tremendous.
Yep, there's some more
there
pictures.
were more pictures. Yeah, there.
Yep, there's some more pictures. You can see some of the
You can
speakers
see
on
Jason
stage.
and Dustin. Dustin taught a class on AI in the right corner. Dustin Fox is from Pearson Smith. He actually said, I'll come and teach a longer class just to your brokerage. So we're going to talk to him about doing some more stuff for us. And you can see like a whole picture of the room over there, picture of Carolyn's panel on the bottom. You can see me in the top left with the CEO panel with Eric Pearson, Kimberly Minkiti, and Justin Levitch. So just a great day. So thank you to everybody that did come.
Crew.
We felt loved, and we really felt encouraged by just a great day. So we had some big news yesterday.
We did. We are
We've
so
had
excited.
this one under our hat for a little bit.
Yes, we've been working on this for
hard.
a couple of months. The crew has, but yesterday we were down in Richmond celebrating a company that they have 130 agents. They have offices on Main Street in the Fan and then also in the Northern Neck, Whitestone area. And they are just the consummate company of great professionals. So we are super excited to welcome One South Realty Group to Samson. So that's how we started that.
So a couple minutes about this, just because
Yes.
I want to circle them in with welcome arms in our Samson family is Rick Jarvis and his wife Sarah Jarvis are the founders and owners of One Street, and they're just the great people. They've got a great organization of just pros, and we've really loved getting to know them. Like Sarah said, beautiful office in the Fan, downtown Richmond. I was blown away with how modern, how beautiful that office is. And
I said right away when I went down there that
She's just gonna
painted
move.
brick and then the exposed beams in there, and they had like the lights hanging. I'm like, I want to work out of here.
It's awesome. So we and then the office they have the one in the Whitestone down in the Northern Neck as well. So we're excited about kind of growing our footprint, but also partner with this amazing company that they've just done an amazing job. So they're going to keep the core of their team and everybody together, use our services to continue to grow their brand in that area. And we're hoping this is going to be a shot in the arm for our Richmond growth as well. We already have, 85 or something like that, great agents in our Libby Mill office. So we're just really excited about the future. We're really excited about this partnership and One South Realty Group joining our family. So if you're down in that area or if you're watching down in Richmond or Fredericksburg, make sure you reach out to them.
Yeah,
make them feel
welcome them. We're super excited to have them join us.
Yeah, so we had a great staff down there yesterday, and Bethany's teaching some
She's down there
orientations
today.
right now.
Yep. Shout out. She may be watching.
If she's live streaming us right now, then
Yeah.
hello to everybody
Hello,
in the
One
One
South.
South Realty Group
Yes.
office. But we're excited about the new partnership, so good stuff coming, and we're going to continue to bolster our Richmond footprint down there in the central region.
Yes. We have a big save the date for you guys. Our next and very last 2023 sales meeting is going to be on Wednesday, December 13th, and we're going to do it live from our studio in Chantilly. So save the date. We welcome you to either tune in or come by.
So not only can you come by and experience the sales meeting, great, get to see one another,
There's goodies
network,
and giveaways.
But there's giveaways and goodies. But right after that, at 12 o'clock, we're going to have a gold sponsor showcase. So we have a lot of these great sponsors, and a lot of times it's tough to make the time to go meet them in a special one-off trip. But if we partner with the sales meeting, everybody can come in, enjoy the sales meeting, enjoy the food, enjoy hanging out together, and then they're going to all set up booths around our office there to be able to get to introduce and talk to a lot of our gold sponsors that day. So be a good time to get to meet some of our people if you want those, make those connections. So you got some more partners going next year. We've had a lot of talks recently and different things, and being that realtor for everybody's needs is a huge deal. So you want to be that go-to. I had a dumb example, but my wife and I, Meredith and I needed a plumber.
But it might be dumb, but it's perfect because this is the way everybody feels about us as real estate agents. So everybody should listen to this.
Well, we needed a plumber the other day, right? And, we knew we had a plumber a couple years ago for the same issue. And, we couldn't remember who it was originally. And I'm not selling every day, so I don't have those strong relationships. But and I should be my own trusted realtor, right? So I should have all these connections, right?
Hey, I might know somebody.
Yeah, exactly. But what you do, what I should have thought in the moment was, if I had this realtor that was continuing to pour into me, is my realtor's got somebody for that. My realtor's got somebody for that. You want to be that go-to person that they don't know a plumber, an electrician, and a contractor, and this, but we all need to have those people in the back pocket so that we're ready to refer those people at all times and connect them so they're your trusted person. And if I was still in it every day, right, I would have the 15 people at the drop of my hat and be ready to go. But it's an example of every day these things come up with any of our past clients or any of our sphere of influence. And if they know that we're their trusted person for everything they need, they're going to be that call. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, Donny hooked me with a great plumber. It went great. He took good care of me. Probably cheaper than what I paid, which was, full price, I'm sure. So you want to have those relationships ready because, and connecting with our sponsors is a great way to do that.
Well, and that too, keeping in touch with our sphere of influence, right? They're the people that know us, like us, trust us. We have a relationship with them. They've already used us. These are the people that we should absolutely be talking to on a regular basis. So using that as a launch pad, I want to talk about Samson Cares and our Week of Giving. We did this last year, and it was a great success. This year, we're doing it just a slight bit differently. We are actually going to put boxes in every single office.
From one of our vendors.
From one of our vendors. Star Moving is going
right.
to bring boxes and pick them up from all of our offices. And then each day of the week, we are challenging our agents to join in with our Week of Giving. Now, if I were you, I would use this challenge as an opportunity to reach out to your sphere of influence and invite them to participate with you on the Samson Cares Week of Giving. It ties them in. It allows you to have good, great communications without asking for something or for a referral, and this is to serve others. So this is a wonderful way to kind of connect with your sphere. On Sunday, the 26th, we are challenging you all after Thanksgiving to start a random act of kindness. Doesn't matter what it is. Pay for somebody at Starbucks, open the door, carry somebody's groceries. One random act of kindness from each one of our agents can change the world on Sunday, November 26th.
On my act of kindness, I'm going to make less jokes about your age that whole day.
Whole day.
It's a Sunday.
Oh, yay.
I probably won't see her. So.
I'm so excited about your random act of kindness. Let me give you another option. All right, on Monday, we are going to be collecting gently used sporting equipment. This does not mean the basketballs that are flat and bald, and this does not mean the lacrosse sticks that have no strings on them. Gently used, because
like the stuff you gave me for my kids.
That's not true. I never even used that. I just passed it on.
I'm just joking.
So, that's not true as I punch him. All right, so gently used sporting equipment. These are going to be given to our Title I communities that do not have sporting equipment so that these kids can get involved in sports and activities. On Tuesday, the 28th, we are going to be collecting canned foods. Those canned foods, bring in a couple of cans, pick them up from your sphere, ask them to participate, have them drop them off. They are going to be delivered to the local food pantries near you, so that is impacting the community that you're in. On Wednesday, the 29th, we're going to be collecting toys. We're super excited. Toys, because there are so many children that are in underprivileged areas that just will not see a great toy this year. And I will tell you that I had an email out from a friend of mine from Loudoun County, a very affluent area. The high school that he goes to, that his kids go to,
yeah,
over 100 kids were on a list. This was the kids that were on reduced lunches, not free lunches, but asked to give gift cards for the kids for Christmas. There were 211 kids at the middle school that feeds your high school that needed full-on Christmas support so that the child could have some level of Christmas. And you're not on the list. Okay. But I'm going to send you the list and you can have a child.
There you go.
So, but here's the thing. On that list were socks, underwear, sweatpants, hoodies, tennis shoes. It wasn't, I want a bike. It was, I just want clothes that fit and that don't have holes. So, guys, think about the wonderful blessings that we have right now, and let's pour into our staff, pour into our sphere and our staff and our friends, and let's make a huge difference in the world. On Thursday, the 30th, we are going to be doing animal shelter collections. Thank dog food, thank blankets, thank all the things. We're going to send emails out about all the different things that could give you guys suggestions and send to your sphere, but this is just kind of an overview. On Friday, December 1st, we're going to be doing military needs collection. Last year, we packed hygiene packs. We send them overseas. We put some magazines in there. We put playing cards. We put all the things in there that just let people know they were being thought about from people at home, because that's so huge when our military's away. And then on December 2nd, Saturday, it's Pay It Forward. We're going to, again, it's that act of kindness. We're going to pay it forward to somebody else. We will be doing collections through December 15th. That's going to be our cutoff date. But these are our focuses for each day. Chris will be sending out more information on Samson Cares and what each office is doing and the different days and what you should look for. But I just encourage you to jump in, talk to your people, put it on Facebook, ask for help, crowdsource this, because we can make a huge impact in a really big, dramatic way in a short period of time with all the people that we have. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then a big save the date for Saturday, December 16th. We are going to do a volunteer organization, a volunteer activity as a company. Anybody that wants to participate, we're going to do National Wreaths Across America Day at Arlington Cemetery for those of you that would like to participate. Chris McCullough is heading that up. C. McCullough at Samson Properties. But again, we will send...
Chris M.
Oh, I think it's actually... Oh, she may have changed it. The old ones... All right, we'll do Chris M. What is she?
That's what's on the chart.
It's Chris M? Awesome. Chris M. at Samson. I'm so glad you did that, because I would always misspell McCullough. Chris M. at Samson Properties, probably why she switched it. So she'll be sending out information. You can also reach out to her and coordinate and RSVP there. So, guys, we just want to make a big impact in a big way, so we appreciate you joining in with us.
So to save the dates, we have set our holiday parties. Now, look, this is exciting and fun, and I'm excited. You saw my shoulders drop a little bit as I said it. Part of this is really
it's fun but hard.
Well, a part of it's depressing to me because last year I did 22.
You did 24 and I did 22.
24 and Sarah did 22, and the reality was it was a lot. It was too much.
It put us both down, and we both ended up getting COVID. Without testing, we just called it the VIG.
I don't know if that's official, but
we won't acknowledge.
It's not official if I didn't test. But
we were the super spreaders.
I'm not sure that it was the best, most efficient way. So what we've done is we've spread them out. We've tried to find our bigger offices, our bigger areas that we can all share together. So we've got 9 spaced out holiday parties all over the place. We have the agent service staff has this list. They're starting to plan these right now with the offices. But we're excited to be able to share in all the one another's together. So now, look, you don't have to belong to one of these offices because obviously there's only 9 offices up here.
No, if you can drive, you can come.
If you're close, look, come to all 9 of them if you want to. Hang out with Sarah and I all 9 times.
Look, I had some agent text me and go, I don't want to drive 20 minutes. And I said, well, I don't want to drive 2 hours, but I am, so come visit.
Exactly. So, you can, the one another's, they'll all be worth it. So more details to come on each one. You can look for all the details on the nest for each one, but I'm sure some will be white elephants, some will be all sorts of different fun stuff. I know Shannon will have a blast with all of them. She does a great job. Last year at Lake Ridge, we did
Shannon is smiling ear to ear already.
The minute to win it games at Lake Ridge were classics.
Those videos will stay buried.
No, we need to start sharing them on social so people get excited to come into this year's holiday parties, I think. So circle those on your calendar. It's Sarah and I's goal, I think, to be at every one when we sat down and try to make that calendar. So we're going to try to have a great time. Lots of staff, lots of great agents, and lots of great holiday cheer together. So we're looking forward to all of those.
We are super excited. We just want to share the season with you a little bit.
The last couple weeks, we've had some great times at HQ2Us. Alexandria, 3 weeks ago, we had a great turnout, great learning there. Silver Spring was super. I see what we did there with the alliteration, Heather. Clever. Alexandria was awesome. Silver Spring was super.
Nice job, Heather.
So just some pictures from both those events, and then I guess you couldn't think of it. Fredericksburg was fantastic.
Fun in Frederick.
Fun in Fredericksburg,
yes.
My fault. So we had a great time at Fredericksburg. That was last Wednesday as well.
And so guys, for those of you that don't know about HQ2U, it's where our headquarters staff come to the offices. You can see the next ones, December 6th in Frederick, and then December 14th will be our last one for the year in Richmond. And that's where we bring our classes down, we bring our teachers down, and we do back-to-back classes on lead generation, how to use Real Scout, how to use KV Core or Chime, how to do CMAs, what to do with them. It's just a day packed full of information. And it's the top line, this, and then you can go deeper if you want to, but it gives you a great broad overview of just nuggets that you can implement right away in your business. And it's our training staff that come down to you. And then Donny and I do an Ask Me Anything, which that one's fun, at lunchtime, where we really, truly do get asked anything. Now, and we love it.
Lynn's in the back there. Lynn does the best of selfies and get all the pictures here.
Lynn gets all the selfies.
Lynn teaches lots of great classes. But I'll say this about HQ2U. My Uncle Casey, who everybody knows, his team does an amazing job, $150 million or more every year, and they do a great job. And Casey sometimes it's hard to, he's always open to learning, but, we walk into Fredericksburg and Casey's there, which being in Fredericksburg's pretty far. And, he came in unsolicited later in the day, about 2:30, and said, Donny, I just got to tell you, HQ-to-U was amazing. I learned so many things. I took so many notes. There's so many things that I want our team to implement. And that's a huge shout out to our staff and the great training and all the resources we have here. That here's a guy that, in theory has the cat by the tail. His team's crushing it, but he's picked up so many nuggets from this day of training that they're going to implement it. So look, if Casey can drive from Vienna to Fredericksburg, join an HQ-to-U, and to have a page of notes that he's going to implement in his team,
I feel certain that everyone else can pick up some nuggets.
From those things.
Absolutely.
So I was excited about that feedback, and thanks for coming out, and great job to our staff on all the training that takes place there as well. So reminder, we have Samson Now, our in-house advanced commission company. Remember, you can recruit people to our Lunch and Learns or introduce them to us for those recruiting rewards. Our upcoming Lunch and Learns. Today, that's in unison, apparently. Today.
It always cracks me up when the one's on there for today, because I'm like, you too can still come, put on pants, and bring a friend.
If you're, it's only 10:30. If you're within 2 hours here, Richmond people
That's
can
what
get
I
here by then.
Put on pants and bring a friend.
I don't know why whenever you tell the story, everybody doesn't have pants on. Like, even if they're sitting at home, they probably have pants on.
Because it goes back to the Zoom days where nobody had on pants. Remember the joke?
I woke up every day and wore pants. I never didn't wear pants.
Well, I did too, but not pants I would wear to work. There's difference.
All right, Old Hickory Cloth Club today. We're going to have a Lunch and Learn. Later, in 2 weeks or after Thanksgiving, we're up at the Holly Hills Country Club, which is near our Frederick office. And then December 14th, we're going to be out in Richmond, Torrance West in Richmond. So that's a very chic place out there. So Chris
it sounds very modern
sassy.
And yes,
hip.
It
sounds
does.
Amazing. So sign up for those days. We do have a fresh video on joinsamson.com. So if none of these work for the area that you're going to be in, joinsamson.com. We filmed a great one in the studio a couple weeks ago. So it is a great video that it's a lot of me, unfortunately, but all the things Samson. So much Donny. So if you want to introduce anybody to all the things going on at Samson, joinsamson.com is a great resource for that. All right, trivia, and then we're going to start bringing up some guests.
Trivia. So the trivia question is for our online viewers.
Online viewers first.
Online viewers, and we're going to give you the text number. Okay,
all right.
Go. Text number. The question is, where's one new office that we announced this morning?
One new office that we announced. We added 2 new offices this morning.
2 new offices this morning. What is one?
Right,
so you need to put your name and the office name, and there's your text number.
Now,
on the screen.
For the people in the house, we're going to do hands. Ready? The hands. Ready?
Wait a minute. Hold on. You haven't gotten your question yet.
You haven't got your question yet. No, it's
people,
your question. Ready?
They're all like, I want to win.
What is one activity from the week of giving?
Oh,
right
acts of kindness. Absolutely.
Right,
I need a prize.
We're gonna have some swag back here that Sarah's going to get. Hold on.
Huh.
What was it?
What was it?
Home Win Real Estate 1 South.
Home Win 1 South. But 1 South where, people?
1 South where? Where are the 2
1
offices?
South where?
Online viewers. Any more online answers?
No, Fredericksburg is not it. Downtown
Richmond.
Where is it?
1 South Cheryl.
Who answered downtown Richmond? That's correct.
Amal Hall. You go, Amal, for listening. All right, who got the acts of kindness? You are getting a donated.
What is that?
This is an awesome present, and I almost stole it for myself. This is an open house pop-up banner courtesy of NVA Signs.
Oh, wow.
So NVA Signs was one of our great sponsors.
I'm surprised you didn't keep that bad boy.
I have a few more. So One VA Signs was one of our wonderful sponsors. You know, they do all of our signs, they do all of our templates. They really, really appreciate our business. They were all in on our Takeover Summit. They loved the Top Producer Summit, and they donated $50 to, gift for us to raffle off. They also donated these pop-up banners for us to be able to give away as well in their name. So they are just all in to help you guys be successful. So pop-up banner, open house.
All
yes.
Right. So, good stuff.
Awesome
Congratulations.
sauce.
We'll have some more trivia in a little bit. All right. Next thing we're going to go to is our Cardinal capture rates. So,
in a mall,
then we're gonna
you got $50 for the print shop. We'll get this over to you.
So we're going to have Carrie and Reid come up here in a second. I'm going off camera here, but I want to show these. Mr. Justin, can you make these bigger? Okay, so this is our capture rate for the month. We were up when you're just checking buy sides across at 43.6%. So that's much better, back up to where we were a couple months ago. Awesome stuff. We were down as low as 38% in September. So let's keep that up to 43. I like that. Let's keep pumping that number up. This black line is that 43% that you can see on the screen here. So the red is what you did in October. The blue is the yearly average. So you can see that some of our offices here, Montclair, Reston, Stafford.
Yep.
Now, less transactions, sometimes you get a higher percentage, although Stafford's got a good amount of transactions.
Yep.
So great work by them. You can see them in a little bit bigger form here. So these are our smaller offices by agent count. Fairfax did a great job last month. Frederick up a little bit, which is great. Montclair 100%. Not a ton of deals, but Luckenberg and the whole office, they're doing a great job. And then Stafford, great 80% last month. So awesome job. So those smaller offices. These are our mid-sized offices. Reston, good job, 100% again. I think it was, again, not way up in transactions total, but 100% is 100%. So that's fantastic. Fredericksburg, 65%. Fredericksburg is I'm surprised they're still in mid-sized office. They got a lot of people, so that's good stuff. And then McLean just over the line as well. So good stuff from some of those offices that were our shining stars last month. And then in our large offices, Chantilly was great, 52, 53%. That's fantastic for Chantilly, which has a ton of our realtors in it. And then Alexandria, great job. Same number of 52, 53. Great month for them. And Lake Ridge over top of that border, we got about 45, 48% on Lake Ridge. So
nice job.
That's our local office here that we're at today. So great job there. These new offices, we could probably incorporate them into our things now. But
we will for next year.
Bethesda's right about the line. Charlestown, great job, over 55%. They've always been strong. And then DC Fairgrounds right about the line. So great job overall for our capture rates. We'd love to keep those pumping up. As I continue to say,
pump it up.
As we continue,
Sorry.
So weird.
I couldn't help it. It just stuck. It just right in my head.
As we continue to push, when we get into this November, December, January timeframe, guys, I just want to be honest. The transactions, they're down. They're down for everybody. They're down in the industry. We're in a cyclical industry where it's always the slowest December to February. Means as a company, at Samson, at Cardinal, we need that support more than ever during the tough winter months. So please do whatever you can to get to Cardinal. We have fantastic staff that are sitting there, and they want to make sure that we keep them busy and do great work. They will take even better care of you in the winter because sometimes there's a few less transactions to take care of. But please do whatever you can to get them to Cardinal Title Group. I promise we'll take great care of you. And without further ado, we will bring up our Cardinal leadership, Miss Carrie Lindsay and Mr. Reid Hubbard. Come on down.
Welcome. Good morning. Are you coming to pump us up?
Yes.
Awesome.
So weird.
Good morning.
Sorry.
Good morning. How we doing?
Hey,
Good. How are y'all?
morning.
How's everyone?
Good.
We're going to start off with some good news acknowledging some of our employees. So we have a processor and post-closer of the month every month. And our winners for September are Katie in our Charlestown office for processor.
Woohoo!
And then Sarah Alexander in Fredericksburg as post-closer of the month for September.
Great job,
Nice
Katie and
job,
Sarah.
Katie and Sarah.
And we've got Christine out of Chantilly as processor of the month for October, and Patricia out of Chantilly as post-closer of the month for October. So thank you, everybody at Cardinal, but especially these 4 people. They get a bonus, and they're recognized throughout the company for their extra contributions.
Nice job, everybody. Oh, our favorite topic, Carrie.
Yes,
Courthouse closings.
So, of course, the courthouses are going to be closed with the upcoming holidays. For Thanksgiving, most courthouses will close early on Wednesday before, and then they'll all be closed on Thursday and Friday. So if you have a closing that week, Monday is really your last safe day to close. If you've got the purchaser, you want to make sure the seller is already signed by Ron or that the seller has already signed before that date. So if you're closing with Cardinal, we'll make sure of that. But if you're not closing with us, something to make sure that the seller is already signed and everything's in a position to be recorded at the courthouse. Sometimes the courthouses close a little earlier than they say on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so you really want to close Monday. That week is your last 100% safe day to close. For Christmas, most courthouses will close early on Friday the 22nd and then be closed the 25th and 26th. So once again, closing at the beginning of that week is the safest.
Taking a long weekend for Christmas.
They do. They've got it made over there.
One of our government hours. Sorry, go ahead.
So just making sure.
Is that out loud? My fault.
maybe the Monday of that week is a safe day to close. Again, making sure the seller's already signed, so it's just the buyer and the buyer's funds and everything is in place for closing. Once again, for New Year's, the courthouses will be closed Monday the 1st, and many will be closed Tuesday the 2nd. Some haven't decided about Tuesday the 2nd, but I would plan on that. Also, kind of warning you, after Christmas, after lenders are closed for 4 days, they're coming back to work on that Wednesday. So I wouldn't recommend closing on the morning of Wednesday, the 27th. After lenders are closed for 4 days, it's kind of hard to get the wheels in motion
I
again.
can pretty much guarantee something would get jacked up.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So unless we have all the documents before the holiday.
Something's getting jacked up.
Officially jacked up.
And then the same thing with Thanksgiving. Closing that Monday after Thanksgiving isn't preferable unless we have everything we need before everyone's closed for those 4 days. We'll do everything in our control, but if the lender doesn't have everything to us, we don't want people to be sitting there waiting for those documents to come after the long weekend.
Look, when you get these 4 or 5 day weekends that because of where the holidays hit, I wouldn't mess with that last day before. You want to get ahead of that crowd. Everybody right now is going to write Wednesday the 22nd or Friday the 22nd or whatever the case may be, these last working days. Just don't mess with that. Get 2 days before. Get the Wednesday. You want to get ahead of the group of people trying to close there, or else you're just asking for disaster. Then if it doesn't close and gets pushed to the following day, all of a sudden now it's 5 days, and people aren't moving in the holiday weekend that they wanted to move into. So get those closings on the Tuesday, Wednesdays, if at all possible.
And keep in mind, the end of December becomes a big factor if you're closing towards the end of the year, because all of a sudden 2023 becomes a whole new year. So that's a big factor that we can't just close the next day if it's a different year. So keep that in mind. If you all have any questions, if you have a closing pending towards the end of any of these holidays or on the holidays, just reach out to your processor if you have any questions or concerns, or reach out to me directly and we can answer any questions and try to get you all scheduled and work through any concerns you may have.
Everybody probably saw our bulletin about Mr. Cooper this week. Mr. Cooper was
Hacked.
targeted with a cybersecurity incident, and we were unable to
So
get payouts.
can you
for
tell
a few
everybody
days.
else who Mr. Cooper is? 'Cause
Yeah,
raise your
Mr.
hand if you
Cooper-
thought it was a person that you were
Yeah,
like,
why they changed their
why
name?
is
Mr.
Mr.
Cooper is.
Remember Nation Star? Nation Star is Mr. Cooper.
We have buyers who ask at the
I
closing
got it
table.
after a minute, okay? But it seemed weird at first.
But we have
But-
buyers at the closing table asking who Mr. Cooper is, and they're handling their loan.
that Mr.
So
Cooper?
yeah, it's a little,
It's scary.
it might be, could be.
It is scary. So it's been resolved. We're able to get payoffs from Mr. Cooper, Rushmore, Lakeview, all those that were affected by the cybersecurity incident. So it has been resolved, but we still want to talk about wire fraud in a different way today as well.
So I know we've touched on wire fraud in the past, and I know it's not the topic that everyone loves to hear about, but it is important that it always stays on your radar as your realtor and that you keep it on your client's radar. We send out disclosures and we send out warnings at the beginning of the transaction, but let's be honest, not everyone reads everything that goes out. There's a lot of information.
No.
Yeah, shocking. I know. We try to put it on everyone's radar, but we want to make sure that you all as the realtor are keeping it on your radar. We had a recent incident where a client's Gmail was hacked, and they got into the transaction. They were able to pose as one of our processors, and they sent an email. Keep in mind, most importantly, we never send an email about the exchange of funds or the wiring of proceeds. It'll never be in an email form. That's always handled in Qualia. So that's the biggest red flag. If someone from Cardinal Title is sending an email to your clients about sending funds somewhere else, it's not us, because we don't handle that via email. But we had an event last week where someone posed as one of our processors, and our emails end in @cardinaltitlegroup.com, and everything looked normal. It looked like it was coming from the processor, except for the I's in Cardinal were L's. So if you're a client, the chances of you noticing that are, next to none. I mean, if I saw that, it took me, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, that's the normal email address, and I studied it, and I realized that they were L's instead of I's. So they had told the client that they would like to they wanted to send funds to a different account, which could be a death blow to your clients, could be terrible for you as a realtor, could be terrible for us as a title company. So we just want to keep it on the radar. Most importantly, we never discuss and we will never change wiring proceeds, any exchange of funds via email, and we'll never change it after the fact. We have the same accounts, and we only discuss this via Qualia. If there's ever any question, give us a call, and we will discuss, err on the side of caution and give us a call.
We got this page too.
Yeah, so this is the actual wire fraud that we send out. It's a little lengthy, but it's sent out for every transaction. It's on the Nest. The more times your clients see this, the better. I know it may seem annoying at times, but we cannot overemphasize this.
Absolutely. I'm going to pivot. It's the same kind of idea, but still one that keeps coming up over and over again is if you get contacted online and somebody wants to sell their land or sell their vacant lot, it is probably not them, okay? I'm going to play the odds here, okay? We have had time after time for our realtors reported back that how early they catch this in the game is a big deal, but they are very smart. They've got their spiel down. They've got their paperwork that, oh, yeah, my name is Reid Hubbard. I own this acre out in the middle of Winchester, and I want to sell it. Oh, it's a vacant land. Well, we can just do everything online. And the part of us that wants to make a deal gets excited, and we go to list it, and we do all these things.
There's no payoffs often, so it seems like a very easy transaction.
It's owned all cash, no big deal.
But they can't meet you in person. That should be a red flag.
Right.
These people will never meet you. I hope they'll never meet you in person. If that starts, then we've got a whole other problem.
There's so many red flags that come up. I mean, Carolyn Young, who you guys saw at Carolyn Young team, she's told me a story just this week that they were trying to get her to sell this property, this land somewhere, and then she looked up the property online and the tax record, and the real owner lived in Herndon. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to go stop by Herndon and knock on the door. Literally knocks on the door, person answers the door, she starts having a conversation. She's like,
surprise.
Not the person that I've been talking to. So it was clearly somebody else that was trying to get them. Now, she didn't list it. Carolyn didn't get down the road with people. But we know stories that have gotten way down the road. We have one of our deals right now that, they caught it before closing, but the buyer is super mad, and there's all this stuff, and they're accusing our agent of being in on it, and they weren't in on it. They didn't know anything. They were just fooled by a scamster for a little bit, and you have to be careful. Ask lots of questions. When in doubt, get somebody else involved. Let them take a look at it as well and ask the hard questions.
And they'll often say, oh, I can't talk on the phone either. Let's just do, correspond via email. There's always a few red flags that make it, in hindsight, it's obvious, but not during the time, it's not always quite as obvious.
Yeah, you don't feel like it at the time. So,
right.
Yeah, have your radar up for all of those because it can happen to some of our top realtors. They've gotten down the road a little bit, so it can happen to anybody. Any other thoughts on wire fraud or any fun stuff? Go ahead, Carrie.
Just wanted to thank everybody again for the better capture rates in October.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Again, Reston and Lake Ridge having 100% means a lot to us. I know Lake Ridge can really get up there. You have such a great leader in Chris, and I know you guys are probably going to be skyrocketing too, so we really appreciate your support.
Yeah.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it, especially in these winter months. If you haven't given us a try, please do. We'll take great care of you and your clients.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you to
Thank
Carrie
you.
and Reid. All right, now without further ado, we get to invite two of my favorites up to the stage, the leaders of one of our most amazing teams here at Samson Properties, Mr. Ian McVeigh and Ed Torres from the RedStone Group. I need to have all their bios up here. 6'2" from North Carolina.
Life's long walks on the beach. Here you
Welcome. How are you guys doing?
Well,
Sarah,
good.
get
Thank
this.
you, guys.
You want to take this, Sarah?
Yeah, well, I'm old. Yeah, showing my age. I printed some stuff.
You did some prints? There you go.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see very
How you
well.
guys doing?
Do you want to borrow mine?
gonna-
You want to borrow
You
mine?
want to bar? Yeah. Yeah, that's
We're
what
gonna sing.
You're going to sing?
Yeah, we're gonna sing.
Oh, okay. Sing it. All right. So what do we got to share today, guys?
We were going to talk
Your
a
team
little.
had an excellent month, by the way. Congratulations
we
on that.
We did. Hopefully
Lots of
more.
Cardinal closings, too. I noticed a million RedStone names there, which we'll announce later, so thank you for that as
Yeah,
well.
good. Our team is doing what we're asking them, so that's good. So, we wanted to talk about, as the market shifts here, listings and helping people with listings. I know a lot of agents here, as you saw, the 70-something new agents. A lot of them are new, right? And so also, if they're not new now, they may be newer to the industry, 2-3 years in. And as a newer agent, you don't have a lot of experience when it comes to listings sometimes. And so you don't know what to do. And, if you're part of a good team, they'll help you through these things. But otherwise, you're kind of relying on what you see or agents within the office and things like that. So we wanted to kind of stress the importance of doing it right. And even though we don't have a lot of inventory, you see a lot of inventory sitting. But the inventory that you see sitting is agents who really aren't prepping the houses right. If the house is prepped right, we're having multiple offers on almost all of our listings still. And I think it has to do...
What does prepped right mean to you?
Well, prep right, we're going to talk about.
Okay.
That's what
It's like I'm putting it up on the tee here.
That's what we're doing.
Let me just hold the tee here for you so you can knock it off.
That's what we're going to talk about. So, but the reality is if you're doing the right things, the houses are still selling. They're still selling fast. There's still competition, and we need that. It's not tough. We're not asking people to spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. It's just about doing the right thing, the right way, and it's going to put you in a much better situation and your sellers in a much better situation.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, we had some, we don't have, of course, because of time, everything that, or to the detail to kind of tell you guys more, but we have a good recap of things that we do in the team that is working well for us. I always tell to my sellers when I sit down with them face to face, I have 5 to 7 days to sell your home in order to put money in your pocket, like more than what you want, right? That's the goal, to sell it quick, to have leverage, to have multiple offers. So we have a couple. I want to start with this pre-marketing thing. I think that anybody can go to a home and take 10 pictures with the beautiful cell phones that we have nowadays. We can take 10 photos. I can go to my computer and I can have a listing up in half an hour, right? Anybody can do that.
But that doesn't mean it's the right way.
That's not the right way.
That is not the right way.
And sometimes I believe probably.
Sometimes people are, and then they
Yeah.
wonder why their property sits. But go ahead.
And I'm sure that most of you, some of you probably have those sellers that say, I want to list the home, I want the home in the market tomorrow. And my response is, I can do that, sir. Anybody can do that. You probably don't need me to do that. But you want to do it the right way, right? You want to show them why it's important that we create what we do, which is coming soon pre-marketing. That's some of the stuff that we do. We basically have, you can see it here, we immediately, the moment they sign the agreement, we order the yard sign.
And so, well, I want to tell the importance of the yard sign, right? The importance of getting the listing agreement done, getting the yard sign out, is because your name and number's on there, by the way, guys, right? So, like, your name and number in front of the house, if a buyer's driving by, if a neighbor sees it, whatever it might be, that's a better opportunity for you, okay? Not only to sell that house, but to maybe sell a neighbor's house or whatever it might be. So it's very important that you get your sign out there, get your face out there, and then I'm going to cover the next thing real quick about the HOA documents and the importance of that, and I'll let Ed finish us off. But the importance of having your HOA documents ordered immediately so that you can deliver them the second you have a ratified contract is because more and more and more contracts are falling apart and people are backing out and people are having thinking twice. And when that happens, they use these HOA documents as a weapon against you.
It's like get out of jail free card.
Get out of jail free. So
you got to pull that card away as soon as possible.
If you're waiting till you have a ratified contract to order these, then you're 14 days past that, then you're delivering it. Now you're 3 weeks into a contract, and then
They
you
can
got to
walk
start
away for 3 weeks with no harm.
start
no
all
foul.
over, So it's important to order those right away so that not only that you can deliver them on a ratified contract, but a lot of times there's violations and things that need to be addressed. And so it also will give you time to address those violations, get those things done, get your cure letter so that even when you deliver those documents with the ratified contract, you can say, hey, we're no violations.
Yeah, that's good. That's why he's my partner, right? But how many, you guys know that the moment that you put the sign, the coming soon on the yard, how many days do we have to actually have the home in MLS?
I know, but we'll let somebody else answer. Kelly.
One day, right? But that we probably got those texts from your buyers about, hey, I saw a sign, and this problem, then you go to MLS and there's not there. It's actually not there. So it's important that you have a good pre-marketing.
You're also going to email by the fine ferry.
Yeah. Don't just put call me soon and just take a like a very incomplete listing. Like the pre-marketing is very important to create that traffic to a property. We have
You're talking about sharing it with the social media.
Yeah. So I'm getting there. So it's important that you do a good job, not just an okay job when you're doing pre-marketing, okay? ChatGPT is one of the things that we started using in the team, and it's worked really well, especially for somebody like me, right? Social media, we get everything in social media. We have to use the power that we have, the power of our brokerage, which is the #1 brokerage in Northern Virginia, right? We want to share that with our beautiful group that we have in Facebook. That's immediately the first thing I do. The moment I get my photos, I immediately post it in Facebook, and I start getting Samson agents asking me questions about this, and that. So it's a beautiful thing. So sharing is important.
And then Donny kind of touched on this when he was talking about vendors and relationships, right, and having those lined up. And it goes with this as well. You know, you need to have the house prepped right, but in order to get that done, you need to have your cleaning people in your pocket. You know, you've got to have your painter in your pocket. You've got to have your photographer, your stager, all these pieces so that when you call them or call upon them, or even as you're presenting your listing presentation to a seller, you can say, hey, I got these people. I can have them there. We're going to have the house cleaned. This is how we're going to do that. I've got a painter who's going to come in. He's going to change your lights. You know, we're going to update the paint here in these rooms, and you help them. And then whether it's a house that needs to be staged, you need to have these people, these vendors, these partnerships so that you can be more successful. Because if you don't have them, or if you haven't started getting them, sometimes you start calling someone, they're like, I can be there in 2 weeks, you know. Whereas if you have these people, you have these relationships, you can have them there the next day, you know, because they know you and you're working with them. So we like to have those people, whether junk removal, I mean, all this stuff we see here, guys, movers, junk removal, cleaners, stagers, painting, contractors, all of this stuff, having these people, you know, with you on your side is only going to help you getting the house ready. And then Donny asked, what do you do? I mean, whether it's painting, lighting, you know, changing the door pulls, putting some hardware on the kitchen cabinets, all these small things go a long way. And if you have the right people that you're working with and on your side, it just, your sellers are just blown away.
So,
Critical.
Ed made a point before about, oh, they want to put the house in the market tomorrow, you know, and that's a little aggressive, but the same idea is the same, right? Look, it's your job to be a professional then at that point and say, that's not what's in our best interest. What's in our best interest is to take a step back and say, look, we need a week, we need 2 weeks, we need to fix this up, make it that we only get one shot to make a first impression. And throwing it on the market with some cell phone pictures and putting it out there,
You're going to sit.
yes, maybe somebody will come by, but you're never going to get the best you could for it. Take the week, take the 2 weeks, do all these prep tools that we talked about, market it the correct way in all the right forms with a professional photographer and all these things, and you're going to get a way better result for you, for your seller. But it's your job as the professional not to roll over and be like, okay, Mr. Seller, whatever you say. No, they're hiring you to say the hard things and do the right things, and that means prep the house the right way, put it out, ready to go, make that great first impression, and like you said, sell to that first 5 to 7 days tops.
And as you get experience doing this, I mean, I went into a listing I have, actually, I think it's the one that we're going to show you here at the end, but in Alexandria. And I was like, we should put the bed on this wall. You know, let's move this bed over here. Let's turn the bunk beds this way. Let's do this. So even working within the confines of what they have, and I said, hey, let's move this table over here. Let's make this room feel like an office instead of, or a playroom or whatever it is. So the more knowledge and things you can do at your listing appointment like that, and that just comes with the experience of doing this and working with professionals on other things, I mean, it just makes you look like a rock star. It makes your job easier, and it gets that listing, I mean, almost every time.
Take control of the listing. Don't let the seller, they hire you. You're the professional. They hire you to guide them.
Absolutely.
You cannot let them guide you. You have to guide the sellers, okay?
You don't walk to your doctor's office and tell your doctor what to do.
And sometimes, I know it's difficult. Sometimes we have those challenges, but
they're the
it's
doctors.
important.
And so the last piece is what Ed's been talking
I want
about.
to add something about the vendors. The vendor, I don't let my seller to tell me. I mean, I have to say yes. Do you have somebody that can paint my house? Yes, sir. Do you have somebody that can do my? Yes, sir. I always, even if I don't have it, I don't care. I'm gonna find it. I don't want to let the seller worry. I'm gonna handle this. Just don't worry.
And that's what Donny was saying. Be everything to them.
I have it. Even if I had to send Ian to do the loan, I send Ian, but we got it. We'll get it done, yeah.
Ian, you're painting the house.
A slip and fall might happen over there if we do that.
Go to the...
And the last piece is the photography. You know, don't cheap out on the videos, the photography. Everything is social media nowadays. Everything is in their face. It's the presentation.
The brochures,
you know, some people, the brochures, you know, we're going to get into a little bit of that, I think, the next thing. But the photos, everything is led with...
That's my brochure for Friday.
With the photos. And Ed's going to share something here in a minute, but you know, have that photographer, have the relationship with the photographer. Same thing goes with that, right? As people get busier and these listing, the photographers get busy, if you've got your guy, the guy you use every time, you're always using them, you call them and say, hey, I need you somewhere tomorrow, or hey, can you get here in a couple days? They'll do it for you, you know? And so make sure you're working with someone who does a good job. If you're working with a company or an individual and it's so-so, it's okay. don't let yourself just be so okay, because their pricing usually isn't that big of a difference, guys. I mean, sometimes you're talking about, instead of $250, it's $400, something like that. So, if you have to spend $200-300 more in the front, you're gonna gain a lot more business doing it the right way, instead of trying to take the
right way
to
do a beautiful flyer just like this.
This is the flyer for 24 years ago, Ed.
That's the right way to do it. What do you think about that flyer?
That's the old school, baby. That is gluing each picture down. I mean,
it's a glued Polaroid picture to the front of.
I wanted to bring the before and after.
These computers are so much better nowadays, right?
This is the flyer nowadays, but you can see how technology changed, right?
Everybody's got to take a look at that old school flyer before they leave today. It's fantastic.
That tells you that another thing is it's important that you need to be.
I don't have to see that, though. My teenage years, my brother and I did a lot of helping my dad put those together, gluing those.
You probably
pictures
did
on.
some of those, right?
I'm looking at that going, that's an A+ job. That's like a straight glue job.
Well, actually,
at 24 years later, that's 24 years. It's held up.
I didn't do that well on mine. But go ahead.
Well, I was actually doing a leasing presentation. By the way, that home will hit the market on Friday, so you have
There
a
you
buyer
go.
Fairfax. But I was doing a leasing presentation.
The price, same price? Same price?
Yes, not the same price though. So my those sellers
That
they
townhouse
have,
is $135,000 in
that, they sit on the table with a stack of paper about all the warranty for the appliances, the roof, the windows, everything. So as he was going through the pile, I saw that and I spotted the flyer. He moved it away, and I say, "Can I see that?" And he showed it to me. He said, "Can I keep it?" He said, "No, please, can I keep it?" He just gave it to me because it blew my mind to see how, right, technology back then, just what, 23, 24 years ago. Yep. And we have all these changes and all these.
Ed was just a young boy then, teenager.
I was a baby, by the way, when that home. But you know what really captured my attention was
Sarah was only like 5 years in her career. She's back there catching strays.
You know what captured my attention in that package was the bright MLS. I don't know if you pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But that haven't changed much.
No, the bright shortlisting looks the exact same.
Yeah, it looks almost identical to what we have today.
So what on your last slide here about marketing MLS?
Just the last thing, and then we learned a lot of this from Casey, and that's the beauty of Samson, really. I mean, we talk to the top agents, the top teams. We share. We sit on each other's huddles. We learn from each other. And really, we were doing some of it, but we've kind of perfected what we were doing with our coming soon after listening to, Uncle Casey. And so the biggest thing that we like to do is once you have the full marketing package done, this is where Donny says having the tough conversations with the sellers, we try to tell them, hey, we need 5 to 10 days after all the marketing is done that we can push this thing coming soon at its peak. And that really gives you an idea of where you're at, where the market's at, if you're getting showings, if you need to make price adjustments. That 5 to 10 days of a full marketing package with all of your photos, all of your videos, everything in the MLS, it's going to be a great expectation to set for your clients and sellers and put you in a much better position. So when it helps talk about pricing and things like that. And another thing here that we love is the print center. I mean, the print center for us is like a second home.
It's a lifesaver.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There you go.
I can get it
love our
at
print
8
center.
in the morning and I have it printed in 2 hours. It's just, you guys, by the way, say thank you to the print center because
Absolutely.
Shout out to the print center guys.
The best. And that QR code takes you to our final product. So if anybody wants to see how we do, some of the listings, some of the things that we talk about today, feel free to scan that QR code and you can see like the whole thing in there, okay?
And then when it's done, you got everything, share it again on social media with the Samson family and everybody, the nest and everything else, and let's try to get a Samson to Samson deal. So.
I love it. Well, thanks for dropping the knowledge, Ian and Ed.
Appreciate
Great
it.
stuff today.
Thank you.
See how they lead that Power RedStone Group and do such a great job. So thank you all for your support and sharing your knowledge with us today. With that, we're going to invite our next friend up there, one of our top individual salespeople in this company, if not number one, Miss Dilyara Daminova. There you go.
Hi, everyone.
Just look right here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So everybody
You want the
talks
slides
about,
there?
oh, yeah,
There you go.
awesome. Everybody talks about top transactions and how they do that. And I thought, my God, in January, it's going to be 10 years since I became a realtor.
10 years.
I didn't even
Stop
realize
it.
how fast it went. because life of the realtor is
But
such
she's
a
only like 28.
vivid.
She got her license at 18,
Yeah.
apparently.
So I got my license in 2014, and I want to very quick, briefly show how adding a little bit into your business will change your production. It's not really, I'm not really dedicated. I'm not organized. I mean,
how can somebody sells 100 houses a year? No, I'm not really dedicated.
No, it's
so
not that hard
innocent.
because people talk a lot about discipline, like you have to be disciplined 10 minutes that, 15 minutes that, 1 hour that, in the afternoon, that's what I do in a car. I don't do that. In a car, I call my mom, I talk to her for an hour, and then I call to my friends and I gossip about it, and then I listen to songs, you know, and sometimes I shut off music and I just drive in a quiet. So I want to show that.
Typically, when you do that, you pass your exit a lot.
A lot.
Watching
A lot.
your Insta story, you miss a lot of turns, it appears.
A lot. It happens to me a lot, and I have a nickname among my.
It's all that gossip. You should stop doing so much gossip talking. Go ahead.
I have a nickname among my past clients, 10 minutes late realtor. So
10 minutes later.
I always get late. But I want to show that you don't really have to be disciplined. You just have to be genuine, love what you do. And I'm going to show very briefly how I changed things in 10 years and how it brought me to 100 transactions in a year. So this is my very first picture. How do I put
Can you put that up, Justin?
Oh, wait.
There, up, go back. Oh, it's my fault.
Oh,
there you go.
sorry.
There you go. I got you. I got
Okay,
you.
this one. This is my very first picture. I just got my license. It was rainy day. I worked at HHS, and right across the street they had botanical garden. So I went and all happy, was sharing with everyone that I got my license. And my friend, my coworker, snapped that picture of me, and that was my basically profile picture. First profile picture as a realtor. And I still have it on realtor.com if you're gonna look at it. So now for the next 3 years, I was a part-time realtor. This is a picture from my office life, very unhappy, worked in a cubicle and hated what I was doing, absolutely sitting in a cubicle. But you can see from 2014 to 2016, for 3 years, I told everyone that I was a realtor, everyone. Everybody knew I was a realtor. I tried to find, as soon as topic would snap to real estate, I tried to talk about real estate, and I knew a lot of people back then. But you can see in 2014, for the whole year, I closed only one transaction, 291. It was my manager in a restaurant who decided to purchase with me. And in 2015, I closed only 3 transactions. Remember, everybody knew I was a realtor. I wasn't keeping it quiet. And I closed 3 transactions. And by the way, in those 2015 was my very first listing. And guess who I worked with?
Who?
Arslan and Jamil.
No, Arslan Jamil, that's a great story.
We got in a huge fight over mailbox keys.
Do you want to tie the story even further? In 2015, Arslan was on my team as a buyer's
That was
agent.
you. That was my first deal I worked with.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and 2016, I closed 4 transactions. 2 came from people that knew me, 2 came from referrals from people that knew me. So you can see my production was 291 in the first year, 668 in the second year, and 1.1 million in the third year. That's purely for 3 years. I told everyone I was a realtor. In 3 years, I told my back then boyfriend, I don't know, fiance, wasn't fiance, boyfriend. I told him I'm done with working as a realtor. I'm done of talking about real estate. It's exhausting. I can make more money concentrating on my career. So I'm quitting my real estate. Like I'm giving up on my license. And he said, no, I'm paying you dues. You're not quitting on it. So he paid my dues. He was nice. Thank God he did it. So in 2000.
Yes. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. From all of us.
And he was broke back then, so for him to pay all my dues was hard.
He knew you'd be good at it back then.
So 2017, it's the first year when I decided I'm gonna quit my job due to some certain family situations. I decided that I wanna give it a shot and try a full-time real estate. So in 2017, I broke down what I did. I started door knocking in my neighborhood. And that allowed me to meet much more people. The reason why I started door knock is because I wanted to make 4 miles walk. I was pregnant at that time, and the doctor said that I have to walk more because I was gaining weight. And so my pure reasons were to door knock is I wanted to kill two birds at the same time. So I walked and I door knocked, and I closed 15 deals in 1 year. So from closing 3 deals, I went to closing 15 deals, and I closed 5.2 million just from that thing of door knocking and still telling people that I'm a realtor, right? So my production gone up, and I made good money in 2017. It was still almost 3% on every deal. And I said, okay, I'm going for the next year. 2018 and 2019 was a big jump for me. So I stopped door knocking, and I started prospecting through social media. So I said I can reach more people through social media than if I door knock individually. Don't take me wrong, door knocking is really great. I still find it really good when you talk to people and create personal connection. And I started attending agents' masterminds, so I learned a lot from what other agents were doing. So I joined Samson Properties.
Yes.
That's actually the first picture with Samson Properties. I didn't know anyone when I came to that meeting. And
I know almost
people
everyone
said,
in that picture.
oh, this is Donny, he's our CEO.
There you go.
And so another thing I did, because I started getting busier, I hired a cleaning crew to clean my house. Remember, I'm a wife, and mother. So I absolutely hate dirty homes. I think everything starts from home. And I hired a cleaning crew to come clean my house. That emptied out 2 days in my schedule, because it took me 1 day to clean second floor and 1 day clean first floor. So I completely emptied out 2 days in my schedule, and I could concentrate more on real estate. I think it's important because a lot of us here are families to mention that. And I also hired live-in nanny to take care of my kids, because not always I could get home on time, but I wanted to make sure it does not affect my kids. They eat healthy food on time and everything. By the way, shout out to my nanny. She came here.
Yeah, shout out to the nanny.
She doesn't speak English, so she doesn't know there's shout out to her. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
She has no idea.
No, she's like, who's this weird guy? This weird guy's giving me a thumbs up. Yeah. I want to murder him right now.
Люда, я про вас сейчас разговариваю, все вам хлопают.
Sí, que bueno.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not Russian. Go ahead.
So she's from Ukraine, by the way. Yeah. So in 2018, you can tell I jumped off to 46 transactions right away. And produced 14 million. In 2019, I jumped to 21 million, and it was 50 transactions. And there was an amazing mastermind in 2020. It was hosted by Carrie, and I'm absolutely blessed that I went there, because I saw on stage one amazing agent. His name is Ricky Caruth. And he comes on stage and he's like, oh, I close 100 transactions every year. I'm like, no way. I closed 50, and it was absolutely exhausting. That's absolutely what single agent can produce. I don't believe it. So I chased Ricky after his speech, and I'm like, Ricky, I don't believe you, because I'm a single agent. And I was going insane and banana and everything. And he basically broke into part. He said, hire transaction coordinator, chip off everything you do, like with the paperwork, and you will see you're going to get into 100 transactions. So in 2020, I continued what I was doing, prospecting through social media, attending masterminds, but I also hired a transaction coordinator. And I chipped off everything to her, like all my paperwork. And I jumped to 79 transactions and 32 million in production as a single agent.
Amazing.
In 2021, 2023, almost there. It was only 5 minutes given, so I was short. I continued prospecting through social media. I added clients appreciation event, highly recommend. I start getting so many referrals from my past clients just because of clients appreciation event. And I do it big. I spend a lot of money. I give them presents. I cannot reach every client individually and text them and ask how they're doing, which is nice, but I just can't do that. So putting everything in once a year event was just a great solution for me, and just hug them at the same time in 1 day. So I added light staging items that I start offering in a listing that I'm doing it, and it's absolutely helped. I can show it on social media that I'm doing it, so people love it. People start seeing that I do more than other agents do. And to the transaction coordinator, I also hired a showing agent. My showing agent is on salary. It doesn't matter if I have showings or not, but we have an agreement that if I need, no matter what time of the day it is, she's gonna go and show when I need her. And it's 5 times a week. So she does have Sunday, Monday off when there's actually no showings. But but she works Tuesday through Saturday. And in any time, like right now, she's on home inspection, sitting there. So that helps me a lot, empties a lot of my time. And one more thing I want to mention, for 3 years, I'm following 3-point system. Not in 2023, really, got a little lazy, but I'm going back on track. So 3 points, there's an amazing agent, I already mentioned him, Quintavious Bordet, he's in Mississippi, and accidentally popped into him. And he has 3-point system. It's a single agent who closes 300 transactions. Unbelievable, right?
300 transactions, one person.
But he follows...
Makes me tired thinking about that.
I know. He follows 3-point system, which is if you talk to someone you don't know, gives you 1 point about real estate. It's a daily 3-point system. There's no days off to that 3 points. No Saturday, no Sunday off. So if you talk to someone you don't know, it's 1 point about real estate. If you signed, ratified, not ratified, I apologize. If you signed the listing agreement or buyer's agreement, it's 2 points, right? And if you got ratified contract, it's 3 points. That means you don't have to do anything in that day anymore. If you got ratified contract, you don't have to look at closings if it's gonna get to
awesome.
Closing or not.
I'm going back to bed. I got to ratify deal at 10.
I gotta tell that I implemented it and it's absolutely worked for me. That's how I closed 100 transactions a year, because I kept that 3 points, like what did I do today? Oh, I didn't talk to anyone about real estate. So I would get on my Instagram. I mean, the easiest way for me to reach people is through social media because it's just faster way. You can do it from your couch. And so that's basically what I did from 2021 to 2023. And my production was in 2021, 47 million, and 2022, 56 million. And 2023, I'm down. The first year in my 10 years career, I'm actually down.
Right.
So
we'll
it's 32 million.
We'll
yeah. But it's still good for a single agent.
It's
I closed
amazing.
57 transactions. So
it's amazing. And growing.
I just wanted to share. You can see clearly
It's just
on...
going to make that bounce back in 2024 even better.
Yeah, I'm getting ready there. You can clearly see that I added very little things, and it didn't change my day. I didn't change my lifestyle. I still have time for everything, and it's affected my production a lot. Awesome. So I hope it's going to be helpful.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dilyara. The Path to Being a Super Agent by Dilyara Daminova. Next, we want to invite up our friend. Oh, we're going to do trivia first. Then we're going to invite up our friends from First Heritage.
Yes.
So we've got a trivia question first. First, we're going to do online viewers. Online viewers and texters. Is Chris ready?
Make sure you put your name and the answer when you send the text.
All right. Online question is, one place we have an upcoming HQ-TU. Now, our in-person question, while we're waiting for answers there, so y'all be ready. We're going to do hands. 2 things you learned from Ian or Dilyara. Ian and Ed or Dilyara. I wasn't sure if Ed was coming. Ian and Ed or Dilyara. Beth Ann was 3-point system. 2 things, though. That's 1 thing. And hire a TC. All right, Beth Ann. Call your mom and gossip with your friends and miss turns.
Beth Ann, you get an open house banner pop-up.
Miss Chris McCullough. Anybody online yet? Upcoming HQ-TU?
I know. Lisa Jackson said Richmond.
Lisa Jackson said
Nice
Richmond.
job.
That is correct. Lisa Jackson.
Lisa, you will get $50 credit to our print center for swag or print.
All right. And so we'll do one more trivia here in a minute after we get our next guest up here.
Yeah, Jerry Berry from First Heritage Mortgage. Come on up, friend.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
How's the market, Jerry Berry?
Fantastic, fantastic. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Good, good, good. Sorry just to pop by, but you guys have probably been hearing the news that's been out on the TV. It looks like everyone's kind of convinced that
rates
the
are down to
Feds
6.
are exactly. The Feds are probably done raising rates and
Nice.
and saw a good.
Yes. Oh, more cheers for that. Come
Exactly, exactly. You know, a couple of weeks ago, the national average for a 30-year fix was all the way up to 7.8. Today, it's back down to 7.4, which doesn't seem like a big improvement.
It's
but
momentum.
It's a direction. Exactly right. It's a direction. So
can't get to the bottom of the hill without that first step.
You're exactly right.
There you go, see?
You could fall.
Look, you could
like
fall.
I did last night.
Is that what
I
happened?
bumped my
there?
head.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I
You
didn't
got a little
fall. I
cut.
just bumped my head on a rafter. But,
Okay. Yeah,
that's
you're
what I
really-
get for trying to do handiwork.
You're pretty tall. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But anyway, I think it is a direction, as we've talked about before. You know, the normal spread between a 30-year T-bill that you guys see and the actual rates is about 150 to 180 basis points. For the last year and a half, we've been running almost 300 basis points. Probably came down a little bit. So once the buyers, the bond traders, realize that the Fed's not going to raise rates anymore, there's a lot of chance for improvement there without the Fed doing anything. Yeah, exactly. The given is that the Fed will probably start lowering rates middle of next year, maybe May.
Woot,
but
woot. That is a
which-
woot woot.
which should help a lot. But I think there's some room for good improvement and see the rates get back down into the sixes
Is that-
before too long.
Now, obviously, nobody has a crystal ball, and I've gotten asked 3 times in the last week, just at different venues, what my crystal ball is. But if you had to guess when you think, I know you just said May, what do you think rates are going to do in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? Do you have any kind of guesstimate on stuff like that?
You know, we've all been wrong for so long that everybody just doesn't want to say anything.
I know. That's
think
kind of what
think-
I said. But
I think you'll see the mid sixes by in the first quarter.
that'd be great.
I think
that'd
so.
be great.
That'd be enough.
That would be enough to get some of those people off the fence that are thinking about it, right?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
don't want it to go too fast because then everybody comes out at once, right? You just want a little bit of that positive momentum. People feel a little bit more confidence in coming out.
Absolutely.
Yes, open that faucet a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Sarah, do you have a...
Well, look, I've noticed an uptick, a small uptick in sales. So do you think that has anything to do with the reduced interest rates we're seeing right now a little bit?
I don't think the normal client is that in tune with where rates are. I think they still think rates are high. So I think it's our job to make sure that we're talking about this kind of stuff and that we do expect rates to be moving down. It'll definitely help. Once everybody realizes that the Fed's not going to raise anymore, then I think some more buyers are getting the market.
I think more and more, we talked about this idea last Friday, but more and more the idea of people are now comfortable with, as they keep moving, people are uncomfortable, right? But if they get used to this being the new normal, or we creep down a little bit, now everybody's like, okay, well, this is what it is. Now, do I want to buy or sell a house? Well, I do. They was unsure because the rates were racing up, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Are they going to bounce back? But once we kind of been settled at a spot for a while, people are kind of like, okay, there's comfort in the comfortable. Like, okay, well, this is our rate for a while. That's okay. Now, do I want to go buy and sell a house or not? Like, let's look at what the payments look like here. Like we've always said, we can always move that rate temporarily and hope for a future. But I just think that as it's so volatile, it's almost like people stand in silence because they want to watch and they're worried to jump into the game. But once we've kind of been fairly steady here, slight ups and downs for a little while now. So I think some of that has helped. In theory, our fall market this fall is much, in some ways, stronger than it was last, fall and into winter, where people were still in the shocked phase at this point last year. Like October, November, December, everybody's like, no, I'm not buying nothing. I have no idea what's going on in the industry with these interest rates. So in some ways, that might be a little bit what's helping.
No, I agree. And no one thought they would go as far as it did when you were looking at November,
Sure.
December last year.
Yeah.
They all thought, well, this is as high as it's going to get. It's not going to get to.
Is that a hand, Mr.
almost
Torres?
8%. Hey, Mr. Torres.
I just thought maybe he liked waving to us from the back.
I was.
Hi.
I just kidding.
You were just up here. Do you want to come back? No, I'm just kidding.
Arms.
Arms.
What do you think about arms?
Oh, sorry, not that.
Do we have maybe those on the radar? Like we have the buy downs and all that stuff for a while, but I think that I don't know why I would not see more armed options, like really, really tempting, like, 5.5 for the first 12 months.
Right.
Armed product. Do you see that coming in the near future?
Yeah, I think the buy down's still the play. Other than some special credit union stuff that's out there, the Fannie and Freddie ARMs, the 2-year yield is still higher than the 10-year yield. So there's no money, there's no appetite for the ARMs in the market. So that's why you've seen, the Fannie and Freddie ARMs haven't been. They've actually been priced worse than the 30-year and 15. So until you see that the 2-year drop down below the 10-year, I don't think the ARMs are going to be a real advantage for us. I think the 30-year fixed will be more attractive. The 2-1 buy downs have been what most of the builders are pushing. You'll see that advertised many different ways in the marketplace, and now with things slowing down, the builders are actually pushing pretty hard to increase your incentives to get people to sell that. But not a whole lot of great ARMs on the market, and there hasn't been that big a change.
It's a good thought. I've
Ask your
always been
question.
an ARM fan, but it seems like there's not really the market for it.
I like
right now.
ARMs. I like ARMs. They just haven't been there. Any financing I did over the last 20 years was in an ARM. It wasn't in a 30-year fixed. So I mean, it's normally a safe bet. Don't hesitate.
Any other thoughts or questions for Mr. Barry here? Yes,
Yes.
sir, Mr. Bowie.
Here you go.
Assumable mortgage.
Okay.
So, what would be the liability for the seller to offer the assumable mortgage to the buyer? Why don't they do that? Because the rate is so high, and the reason buyer don't come out to buy because of the rate.
It's just really tricky. It's a transaction that doesn't require a lender. So the seller of the house is the one that has to facilitate that. So it's just a tricky transaction. Usually they take quite a bit of time to do. And if there's a lot of equity in the property, then the borrower still has to come up with that equity to be able to assume his mortgage.
You can only assume what's left on the mortgage.
Right. But as far as
So
the
if it's
liability,
a $500,000 property and they only owe $200, they can really only assume the $200. They still need to come up with secondary financing or cash for the other $300. That stops a lot of deals in its tracks.
but as far as the liability, the person that's assumed that mortgage had to qualify with the lender that currently held the mortgage. So there's no liability in the seller. It's a tricky transaction to get done. And again, mostly because of equity. But you hear about it on occasion on VA, but that's about all we see.
So as a plug for HQ2U and SOAR and some of the other events that Cardinal has going on, which I forgot to mention earlier. So Cardinal's running a great education series called SOAR, and they're doing classes all over. They were in Bowie yesterday, lots of people there. And Mary, and I'm blanking on Fredenberg. She teaches a great class on VA assumables and the whole process of that. She's done it at a bunch of HQ2Us. She's done it at SOAR. So I would highly encourage you to go there. She's got a great packet to it. It is on the Nest, right? Well, the calendars, it's on the Nest. The class isn't on the Nest, but she does it in person a lot all over the place, right? So I don't think it's on Samson University. That class hasn't been videoed. But the VA assumable, she's a pro at it. If you've got more questions or a possibility of it, A, go to her class, but B, reach out to Mary directly. She sits in our Lake Ridge office every day, and she's a gem to have. Well, thank you, Jerry. It was great having you out there.
Thank you.
Thank you for your continued support. All right, so I'm gonna open up Pandora's box here for like 5 minutes or so, and then we've got some more things we want to close with.
Pandora's box is so fun.
Pandora's box is fun. What does Pandora's box mean?
Industry talk.
Industry talk.
I think we need like a little blurb or a little cartoon.
Put a Pandora's box up.
Yeah, there you go.
Industry talk.
So what do I mean by that? Do we have some mics out and ready? We're not going to do that trivia quite yet, Chris. So commission lawsuits. It's been a month since we've been up in front of everybody here. We've been at a lot of HQ2Us and talking to people, some masterminds. I will generally give my 2 cents for right now because some of you have heard Sarah and I at different venues. Some of you have not. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware because you're reading the news and you're reading all of these articles that come out, is all these commission lawsuits. All these commission lawsuits that that have come out where, and if you aren't educated at all, you need to get educated on some level and figure out what's going on, okay? And we're going to give you a little bit of a Reader's Digest version right now, but basically, Keller Williams, National Association of Realtors, and Berkshire Hathaway, or I guess Home Service America, which Berkshire Hathaway and Logan Foster, They did lose this lawsuit, this class action suit from a group of home sellers in Missouri that said that what we're basically doing as a real estate industry is violating antitrust violations, that we're all in the cartel together.
We're all colluding.
We're all colluding
fixing.
with each other and
Yeah.
price fixing and commission fixing, and they were able to prove that at trial. So they're on the hook for $2 to $5 billion right now. Now, they're not going to settle for $2 to $5 billion. They're going to be a long appeal process and all this kind of stuff. What it's also done is it's hatched a lot of different attacks from the side, from different angles, with 3, 4, 5, 6 different lawsuits that are similar, even some from the buyer side about this commission collusion. What does it mean to us today? Okay, first of all, nothing in theory has changed. Okay, there's been no big, wide sweeping rule changes or anything like that. Now, here we did announce, I guess it was the only last sales meeting, or was it
probably,
two sales meetings ago, that we said, look, the 2.5% minimum rule has gone away at Samson because we can't do that in this environment. But
we strongly encourage you to keep offering because we believe it's in the seller's best interest.
And if I look in Bright right now and I counted them up, I'll bet you 95% of people are still offering out the 2.5%. It has not moved what we're doing as a real estate industry with one another. The difference is this, a couple things. One, you have to be very transparent and open about your commission conversations. You can no longer represent a buyer and say, well, my services are free, the seller pays for me. That's not true, okay? It may be that part of the deal ends up being that the seller, pays enough commission that is offered back here, but your services are not free. They are the buyer has to understand that they are paying real money for your services one way or the other. So you have to be more transparent and open about your commissions. If Sarah's my buyer, I need to make sure that I'm very good at the buyer agency agreement. Lynn Hamilton's in the back who teaches lots of great classes on buyer consultations in our HQDUs, in our fourth quarter challenges, all over the place, in our Thursday marketing classes. You need to get better at your buyer presentation. We talk a lot about listing presentations. You need to have a buyer presentation.
And your buyer presentation should be just as strong as your listing presentation. When you go into a listing presentation, this is what I do as part of my agency to represent you. Here are the functions I perform, and here's what I get paid, and here's what that structure looks like. From a buyer side, it very much should be, I'm sitting down with you, I'm presenting all the things that I do, here's the structure upon how I get paid, and here's the documents we use. The presentation should be the same, just flipped, not get in my car, drive around, sign the buyer agency when we present a contract.
So a couple things with that buyer agency. It has to have a number in there.
No MLS.
Okay? No per MLS, because the MLS could say 0 now. People are not required to offer any commission out to the buyer agency. Now, a lot are, because we still think it's the best way. But you have to have a number in there. 2.5% minimum, 2% minimum, whatever you want to put in there is the minimum. Now, I would have that conversation. I keep pointing at Sarah like she's my buyer. That says, okay, look, we're going to put 2.5% in here. There's a strong chance that as part of the MLS offering, the listing agent is willing to offer that out. If they are not willing to give us any commission, and pay the commission for you, then we have two choices. One, you can make it as a part of your offer. The buyer is allowed to, in their offer, if Sarah's making an offer on a house down the street for $500,000, she can say, I'm offering you $500,000. I also am going to put in here that I want you to pay my realtor 2.5%, or I want you to pay my realtor 2%. The buyer can make that offer. Us as the listing or buyer's agent cannot get in the middle of it and say, we're only going to show your house, or we're only going to present this house if you give me this commission. That cannot be your decision. It has to be the buyer's decision as part of their offer to put in the pay. Now, obviously, you're having they wouldn't know to do that on their own. So I'm not naive. Part of it is you've educated your buyer that this is the way that they can make paid, that they can pay you. Now, the third way is this. If they don't want to do that or they get rejected, then technically Sarah's on the hook per our contract to pay me 2.5%. Now, that scares some people, right? The idea, though, is still that you could always say, look, okay, fine, I'll do 2%, I'll do 1.5%. You can always come down off that. But if you don't have a good buyer agency agreement in place, you are not guaranteed to be paid. But you still have to give out your services. If you put per MLS, you still have to do all the hard work for Sarah that you said, and then the MLS says, we're not paying a buyer's agent. Well, guess what? Do you just stop working? No, you got to keep doing all the things you said in your contract.
And now you're doing it for free.
But now you're doing it for free. Okay, so make sure you have a good buyer agency agreement in place. Now, the reasons that I don't think that this world is going to blow up and it's going to all flip on its head, because nuclear would be seller only pays the listing agent and buyer has to pay the buyer agent out of their own pocket. Who is that going to hurt the most? Buyers, but which buyers?
First-time
VA and first-time home buyers and low money down buyers. Look, first Jerry from First Heritage was just up here, right? First of all, VA buyers aren't allowed to pay their agents even their admin fees, right? They're not allowed per VA rules to pay their agents. The second one is how many 3.5%, 5%, 10% down first-time home buyers or younger buyers, or if I'm being honest, the stats say, it's not me, that minority buyers that are getting into the marketplace with first-time home buyer money or lower money, they're not going to be the ones that are represented. They don't have, the first-time home buyer does not have 3.5% for their down payment and 2 or 3% to pay their agent. So who's going to not get represented?
The people
Those
who
people.
need it the most.
The people that need the help the most, the first-time home buyers. And so we're not going to get to a nuclear world like that because there's no way that the VA and there's no way that all the boards and all the advocacy groups out there are going to allow for all the people that need the most help to not get a representation. Right. Because, look, we got some strong listing agents in this room. This poor buyer that's a first-time home buyer comes into the house and Casey Sampson's the listing agent and they can't represent it because they can't pay it. Look, Casey's a nice guy and all, but he is going to own, because his job is to represent the seller. That buyer's going to do whatever it is that they have to do to get that house.
He is going to tear them up one side and down the other.
And that's not the world that we all want to live in the real estate industry. So we're not going to get to that nuclear phase. I really honestly believe that.
Well, and one point back to what you were talking about with the buyer broker and being very transparent is that conversation is also it has to be had immediately. It cannot be had when you submit the offer. It is going to be much easier for you to go through these stats and go through these processes with them when everything's conceptual versus them finding the house on Zillow and telling you they want to see it and you walking in and opening the door and that's all you've done and now they're going to look at you and go, why am I paying you $20,000?
Right, because they've already gotten to that step in the process, right?
And now things are real and the money's real. Like, you need to have that conversation first and foremost. That's the law. It always has been. We need to start following it.
Now, the other thing that I would discourage you all from doing is this. Look, I've seen the posts. We've all seen the posts with all the things that you want to be a realtor, here are all the things we do. And it's 6 paragraphs long and it's great, right? Guys, stop doing that, okay?
The consumers don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you why. 2%, 50% of the realtors watching right now don't know what we're talking about with commission lawsuits.
Yeah.
Do you know what percentage of the public know that there's stuff going on? 2, 3, max 5%? If we continue to shout what's going on, they're going to continue to be like, oh, so I don't have to pay my realtor anymore? Guys, let's not continue to feed the narrative that there's something going on that they don't have to pay us all of a sudden. They don't know any better. The only things we have to change are being more transparent, do our job more like a pro.
Being more professional, absolutely.
Be more professional. You see that the next slide here says update from NAR president. They sent a good email out with some links, with some great stuff on what are some things that remind you of all the things the realtors do, and buying home is easy, work with the realtors. They've got some great infographics, some great stats. These are not to tell people you have to pay us, but these are great tools to go along with
adding the value, promoting the value that you add. And that's the thing, it's just having conversations. Now, each jurisdiction is a little bit different as well. We in Virginia don't really understand a lot of why this is happening because we've always been very transparent in our listing agreements. We've always said, I'm charging you 6%, I'm giving 3% to the buy side, I'm keeping 3%. It's right there in our listing agreement. But in many states, Maryland included, the agreements just say, I'm charging you 5.5%, and I can do whatever I want. It doesn't break it down. So understand that this all started in areas that are less transparent, but it's going to affect the industry all as a whole. We just have to be more professional, more transparent.
Well, West Virginia people are watching right now too. There's no buyer agent agreements that are required in West Virginia. It's not a part of by law. Now look.
Now the commission's changing that, but it takes time.
With everything going on.
We're now putting it in.
But you can see that not all states are created the same, which is why some of this happens. But even in Virginia, where we're standing today, it is still a matter of being more transparent, being more professional, making sure you have your ducks in a row. But don't go out of your way to talk about, oh, this lawsuit and this and that. Look, they don't know, and frankly, they don't care. Just have prepared why you are a great realtor, why they need a great realtor. We're going to all get through this together, and it's all going to be okay. There are so many things right now that in an industry we can be negative. Oh, the rates are down, the inventory's down, the commission lawsuits, we're all going to be out of a job. Stop. If we let all of those thoughts continue to creep in and worry us, then we're going to continue down that road and we're going to be in the corner, huddled in, worried. there's still thousands of transactions happening every
People
day.
need to move.
Every day, people are still buying and selling.
What was the
and
5
frankly,
Ds?
frankly, right now, more people are selling this November than last November. There's more inventory week by week. There's more sales happening week by week in November than last November. Things are good, but we let all this stuff get in the way of our mindset. So try to block it out, move on, be more transparent, be more ready. Take a buyer consultation class with Lynn Hamilton and our great trainers, and you're going to be in a lot better shape.
Focus on what you can change. Focus on what you can impact, and your prospecting and your lead generation.
You can only control what you can control.
That is the only thing you can control right now.
Ms. Kelly.
We had recently had a seller with Cardinal Title, and when they got the Alta, they called us and said, "Why am I paying Keller Williams $5,000? I thought the lawsuit settled that. We don't pay anymore."
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. So
People don't understand.
Yeah,
Right.
and I was that's on the listing side. I mean, the sellers too are not going to. They're going to say, "Oh, we don't have to do that
absolutely
anymore."
need to be prepared to discuss it.
You need to
So
prepare
we
up
had
front.
to-
If you set a
right.
list now the toothpaste was out of tube on that one. They'd already agreed to it, done it. But if you sat down with that new seller tomorrow, and that same person was like, I don't have to pay
right.
the other side now, right? They could bring that up.
We had explained it during
Yep.
the listing process. But my question is there something on the Alta that we could have that the full commission goes to Samson Properties and then underneath the way it's split rather than, because the brokerage fee comes from Samson to the cooperating buyer agent, okay?
Well, it
doesn't-
is split on the Alta between.
But it's just as half and half, so it looks like they're going half to us and half to
Is
them.
it really say that? Because I thought it said,
It's
I guess I have to look at it
Samson,
each
and
one
then ABC, and then it says brokerage fee to Samson.
okay.
It's written in 3
Okay,
lines.
well, all right,
What
I'll go
she's
back
saying
and
is
check.
it should say $18,000 to Samson. And then the problem is once you say that, it's not technically $18,000. And technically we've reallocated
No,
where
I
that
get it. I'm
goes.
just saying visually, the
I
one
know.
I looked at just didn't have it that way, and I thought that would make sense to
It's an odd
explain it
thing
easier.
you could put a disclaimer line that didn't have to do with the Alta in the middle that all says Samson. But then we're not a party to the Alta where it's like, okay, Samson's paying Long and Foster $9,000. That part doesn't jive because technically we're not really part of that Alta. We made an offer out there in Bright,
Right.
but it was pre-settled by the information we gave them as who's to disperse our
Well,
money
maybe
to.
that would be another thing, just to
Yeah, no,
explain to
it's-
the sellers
it's
that
certainly
that's
a
how
thought.
it's going to come down because they
Well,
don't-
and the good news is that there's going to have to be a lot of changes for things to change, right? So, we will expect, even NVAR said at our summit last Friday,
For those who didn't hear this on Friday.
they're working on new documents, new listing agreements, new buyer's agreements. They're working on documents to give to the clients and sellers. They're supposed to release those approximately December 1st for a January 1 implementation. So we're looking for those as soon as we get them. We will do training classes. We will roll them out to everybody, but they will be effective in our January 1 forms revisions. Every January we get new ones.
I don't think that's mass change in form.
Not
I think
in Virginia. I don't think
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
see a
going to be
lot.
just more clear on who's paying who and what your options are is really
Right.
the transparency part of it. And it's just explaining that. Most of us maybe just brush over, yeah, I charge 5%. Okay, it sounds fine. But we just brush over that idea of we're paying 2.5%. And, well, I don't think I have to pay anybody more. Well, be ready for. I think that's the best way to market your property. I think you're going to get the best traffic in. We want a professional realtor on the side. The percentage of deals that close successfully that have 2 pros on each side is way higher than the ones that come in without a realtor and think they know what they're doing on themselves. Those people are the quickest ones, to Ian and Ed's point earlier, that run out and change their mind, and they don't even have a contingency to put their to get out sometimes. They're just like, I'm not buying the home. The buyers that walk in without a realtor think they know it all. We want a professional on the other side. We want one that is being paid real money so that they do a good job and make sure that we get to close.
To that point, we've all had those clients that we've lost control of just a little bit, right? And they go rogue, and that's with a strong professional real estate agent on the other side. What do you think they're like when they don't have that?
Right. Absolutely.
So that's key.
I went longer than the 5 minutes I was going to say.
Yeah, but there's a QR code on that slide for you to have those direct links.
And
if you
we're going
want
to
them.
set. I do want to send something on the next day or two with a lot of these tips, these resources that we should use to help us go forward. So the sky's not falling. Everything's going to be great.
Yep.
We see all the headlines.
We're watching.
Headlines are sensational. Don't worry too much about them.
Yeah, stay away from the clickbait.
Stay away from the clickbait.
Stay away.
All right, so we are over as always, but I'm going to close up with a couple thoughts here. So our market reports, I just want to show this real quick. Can you make this bigger? I'm going to do 30 seconds on this. So look, we're 12.5% sales down, closed sales what I'm looking at right now, from last October to this October, and 20% down in new listings from last October to this October. But watch the weekend updates every week that I do. In the beginning, we do the weekly, week over week. We're putting on more listings every week than we were at this point last year. We're closing more sales or the same amount of sales as we were at this point last year. So in general, it's not as bad as what the stats, because these stats are always chasing by the whole month of October, and that's really what the September contracts were, the October closings. But today, we're having more contracts pending this week than we were at this point last week. So it is better news than sometimes what these slides show. So look, all these market reports, as a reminder, they're in the top resources section of the Cardinal Nest. We break down every jurisdiction there for you to go through. Remember, HQ2U is coming up in December 6th in Frederick, December 14th in Richmond. Lots of great education there. KV Core and Chime on the road. Lori's teaching. Next Tuesday, she's going to be in Richmond to incorporate all of our new friends from One South Group in Richmond. Lake Ridge on the 28th. She'll be at our office down the street here. And then Bowie, December 12th. Dive into KV Core and Chime. Lynn Hamilton does her amazing classes every Thursday. Tomorrow, leverage our new newsletter. Drive traffic to your website on the 30th. She's done great stuff recently on buyer and seller consultations the last couple weeks. Her fourth quarter challenge is continuing to continue it. It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
Whatever the sentence that I want to say.
For the fourth quarter.
For the fourth quarter. Over 200 agents have jumped in.
Jump in, do it now.
Even though you're halfway through, don't give up. There's never a wrong time to jump and take that first step.
And remember, your activity that you're doing now is the settlements that you will have in 30, 60, 90 days.
SOAR, take your business to the next level. I talked about the great classes the Cardinal's hosting at our events at our offices yesterday in Bowie. Great turnout. Carl sent me some great pictures there. We'll be in Alexandria December 11th with some great training. Every Friday, we do the weekend update. Log in there. I'm doing all the classes. I'm going over all the classes that are going on last week, next week, all the great activities. Encourage you to look at the calendar and that weekend update. We're going to do one more round of trivia, and then we're going to jump into our closing to end us out here. So,
hold on, we got to wait on Chris.
It's fine, she's fine.
Remember,
online, it takes a second for them to do it.
You need to put your name and the answer on your text.
Online first, and then we're going to do an in-person question. Online, name of the company that partnered with Samson Properties from Richmond yesterday. Name of the company.
Yes. All right. And for our studio
audience, hands up.
Name up. Well, put it down. We haven't started yet.
She got it. She read it. Name of the Cardinal.
Oh, you read it?
Kelly
How
wins.
quick are you, Kelly?
Kelly beat you by a second, Jerry. SOAR.
Yes,
Kelly
ma'am.
Thomas wins. Name of the Cardinal Title Group education series was SOAR. All right. Online.
Oh, shoot. I'm dropping.
Name of the company that partnered with Samson Properties. Who we got, Chris?
All right, we have
Lisa,
Kelly.
you can't win again.
Kelly, we have $50 print center or swag.
Should I do Laura?
Yes.
Yes, you can do a Laura. Yes.
Amina
Lena, and her answer was One South.
One South Realty Group.
You get a
Great
$50
job, Amina.
credit.
All right, so lots of great prizes. Now we're going to close with this. Our 399 total closings the last 4 weeks since our last sales meeting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We cannot continue to exist.
We can't do any of this without that.
And continue to
This is so
support you in all these great training and all these great staff and all of this working together to help get through all this together and to help educate you, give you great tools to be successful. I will tackle the first page here, and if you're in the crowd and we don't recognize you, woot it up so that we can make sure we cheer for you. Abdul Tuku, Abdul Khalik, Latif Chaudhry, Abul Tariq, Aiden Berry, Akram Abdul Kader, Alexandra Ayamandi, Ali Ahmed, Ali Dejanada, Allison Pages, Alka Kumar 2 times, Amy Minenberg, Andrea Hayes 3 times. Great job, Andrea. Andrea Saunders, Andrew Norton, Andy Spagnolo, Angela Cable Johnson, Angela Logasamini, Angie Hill, Anil Bondari, Anita Badiaco, Ann Thomas, Tony Folco, Antonio Hyman, April Van Oberbeek, Ashina Tucker. Oh, April 2 times. Thanks,
2 times.
April.
Awesome job.
Ashina Tucker, Badar Zaman 2 times. Bahar Dala Tashi, Bassam Hamandi,
Three times, Bahar.
Oh, Bahar 3 times.
Nice job.
3 times, Bahar. Great job. Becky Green, Belinda Reese 2 times. Ben and Dana Ashlock, Berta Vasquez, Beth Ann Wilson 2 times.
2 times, Beth Ann. Whoop, whoop.
Bethany Subsock 2 times.
Billy Quinn, Billy Thompson 2 times. Blaine Jackson, Blake Herring, Brandy Brown, Brandy Tovar, Brenda Graves, Brian Sanks, Brianna Franklin, Brittany Latu, Caitlin Ellis, Camelia Tierney, Candace Astroff 2 times, Carl Harper, Carlo Washington, Carlos Fuentes, Carmen Baree, Carmen Carter Howe, Carolyn Young 11 times.
Carolyn Young bringing the heat.
11 times. Nice job, Carolyn. Wow, that's awesome. Casey Quicken, Casey Olyanekov, Casey Samson 5 times.
There you go, Casey.
I think
Way to
I
go.
like my page better than yours.
Yes.
5 times. Chantel Williams, Charles Kim, Charles Youngbar, Sherry Shaw, Chris Deloach, Christina Johnson, Christina Pearson 4 times.
Great job,
nice
Christina.
job. Christine Motley 2 times. Oh, Charles Kim's on there again, so I'm going to go twice on him. Claudette Davis, Connor Shosky, Coy Whitman, Daisy Cordova, and Dana Ashlock. Thank you.
Dana Jackins 2 times. Daniel Lee, Jerome Suggs, David Werfel 2 times. Denise Duruff Carter, Derajad Gurmi 3 times. Desiree Rogelli, Devon Joshi, Diana Posadas, Diane Wright, Dilyara Daminova 2 times, our great presenter today. Dina Baharona, DJ Jenkins, Donald Grant, Dante Phillips, Elaine Molina 2 times, Elena Matiana, Elizabeth Delgado, Liz Klein 3 times. Thanks, Liz and team. Eric Burnett, Ernie Dill, Ayaso Simret, Faiza Alvi, Fasika Dressa, Fatana Barak, Felicia Cole, Frank Holliday, Frank Rinker, Frida Farong, Gabriel Aranguren, Gabriel John, Gary Bear, Jeannie Wynn, George Bowler, Giovanna Dawson, and Gray McBay 2 times.
Greg Kalangian 2 times. Gregory Johnson, Gwendolyn Childs, Harmon Singh, Haiti Haylett, Heather Stafer, Heidi Hollis, Hinda Muhammad, Hulanam Walter Gabriel, Hushai Mesfin, Ian McVeigh in the house. Ayman Raymond, India Gillis, Irish Yu, Yvonne Riglet, Jackie Koval, James Wilkins II, James Wright 2 times, Jamia Nixon, Jamie Shin, Jan Allen, Janet Orellana 2 times, 2 times, Jason Sanders, Jay Rousey, Jeffrey Wellborn.
Caballero.
I did meet Janeth Caballero. I forgot you, sorry. Jennifer Barnard, Jennifer Kelly, Jennifer Pham, Jesse Elliott, Jill Judge 2 times, Joan Lord, Joan Stansfield, Joe Wilkerson, Joel Miranda, and John Agam 2 times. Thanks, guys.
John Ginty, Johnny G, John Grzika and Laura, John McCambridge and Kathy, John Pham, Jordan Muirhead, Joshua Williams, Jose Ruiz, Justin Bailey, Caitlin Higgins 2 times, Kara Burnett, Kate Snyder, Katie Mudd, Kathleen Pester, Kathy O'Donnell, Kathy Rainey 2 times, Kathy Shank, Kia Evans, Keith Hawkins, Kelly Adrea, Kelly Daniel, Kelly Greco, Kelly Hayes, Kelly Snell, Kevin Brandis, Keisha Washington, Kander Haiwa, Kim Athy, Kimberly Wright, Christy Edwards out in West Virginia 3 times, Christine Jones 2 times, Christine Price, Lamar Sims, Larry and Laura Bean, woo! Leslie DeLeon, I skipped Laura Lamb.
Yep.
Leticia Gaddis 2 times.
Liana Yeganova, Lydia Gasquez, Lil Venable,
Lil Wayne.
Lily Shang, Lisa Minutia, Lisa Patton, Lori O'Day, Lucia Arden Jason, Luis Poblete, Lydia Gregory, Alyn Carr Hawks, Mabel Wang, Madonna Padilla 2 times.
There you go, Madonna.
Maheen Pirzada, Mackenzie Tessier, Maria McGrath, Maria Walkup, Maritza Munez, Mark Tompkins, Mary Henry, Matthew Huggins, Max Tariq, Megan Bosvet 3 times. Thank you so much, Mel Tulu, Melanie Gray, Missy Whittington, Meredith Smith, Michael Dowling, Michael Howard, Michael McKindy 2 times, Michael Parrish, Michael Tress, Michelle Gibson, Michelle Owens, Michelle Gildea, and Michelle Purdom. Thank you, guys.
Ming Kwan, Monica Lee, Madasir Jawara 2 times, Manowar Khan, Nadia Delawar 2 times, Nanama Musayama, Natalie and Kurt McCarter 2 times, Natalia Toms, Neomar Martinez, Nicole Braithwaite, Nick Biberai, Nima Majorian, Nita Neri, Noel Morgan, Noli Manaloto, Nora Yellen, Norma Skeet, Oke Adamaga, Alienka Ayera, Olubumi Ayodele, Owen and Kelly Thomas, Pablo Flower 2 times, Paolo Kelly, Paolo Kigpen 2 times, Pat Sowers 3 times. There you go, woo! Paul Almeida 3 times, Peter Saman, Ping Wan, Pino Bulipongsanen 2 times.
We got some woot-woots back there.
PJ Aguiar, Pramesh Saristha, Prudence Wafo, Kezar Aziz, Rashawn Edwards, Rajit Kapoor, Raymond Bromell, Rebecca O'Haron.
Rex Thomas 2 times, Rich DeGory, Rick Rupert, Rick Yellish, Ritu Desai 2 times. Ritu. Your brain just keeps going, yes. Bob Burr, Robert Blitzer, Robert Waddell, Roger Tata, Ron Blanks, Ron Frazier, Roxanne Southern, Rupali Jain, Saad Jamil, Salim Abdi, Sam Hardman, Sandra D. Pasquale, Sanjeev Shah, Sarah McGovern.
Sanjeev Shah 2 times.
Oh, 2 times. Sorry, Sanjeev, I missed you 2 times. Sarah McGovern, Sarah Bit Singh, me.
Sarah Mormon, woo!
Sarndeep Sarkaria, Scott Key, Sean Rotbert, Sergio Garcia, not the golfer. Shazad Ali, Sharon Hogan, Shawan Khan, Sheila Conti, Sherry Covert Brown, Shirley Camiello, Sidra Khan, Sinjin Amy, Srinivasu Kachwagata, Stephanie Brock, and Steve Angeline. Thank you.
Coming in strong here. Last page. Stephen Chen, Stephen Lee, Suriel Reddy, Susan Tullington, Sybil Buckhalter.
2 times.
2 times. Saeed Abbas, Tamar Myers Moffitt. 2 times. Tanvir Safar, Ted Spinadle, Terry Jones, Thaddeus Underwood, Thomas Bennett, Tina McElroy, Tina Rogers, Tonga Turner 5 times.
Nice job.
Great job, Tonga. And a fantastic job presenting at our sales meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Ton Lee Parker, Trisha Filbert, Ugo Akeki, Valerie Reid, Vasa Olsen, Venkat Guram, Vicky Hembrick, Vicky Thompson, Victor Abdanor, Vicky King, Victoria Zhao, Vikas Chaudhry 2 times, Viktor Kutsevich, Vitaly Petrov, Vutha Pal, Walter Rodriguez, Wakar Ahmed, William Restrepo, Yan, Yusar Almukhtar, Zachary Wilson, and Zuhair Gars.
Nice
Thank
job.
you so much to all of our fantastic support.
Thank you.
Now, I know there's a lot of names, guys, but every single one of them
so important.
Means a ton, and it's how we can continue to grow this company, which we are so proud of, that we're growing together in such a productive way where we're really just giving tools, resources, offices, the one another's, the networking, and the education to help us grow stronger together. So thank you for that continued support. Thank you for everybody coming out last Friday, for all the lessons learned. Welcome to our new Fronts from One South Realty Group down in Richmond. We are so excited, all the great events coming up. We hope to see you all at all the Thanksgiving parties and the potlucks and the Christmas parties and all the great things coming. Our next sales meeting, I guess we have HQ2U December 6th.
And then December 13th
and then December 13th at Chantilly. So.
And we wish you guys many, many blessings and Thanksgivings with your family as you go through the holidays, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.
Peace out. All right.
Your new favorite.